where athletes across the world participated. But it has not gone down too well with the Congress, who have slammed the state government, calling it a nudity show. In fact, their grouse is that there is a cutout of Lord Hanuman. We are going to show you those visuals full frame. He, remember, is the patron deity of bodybuilding, which was kept on the stage. This is the stage where the athletes were flexing and strutting. Now, this happens to be an event whose organizing committee includes the BJP Mayor Prahlad Patel, who was also in attendance, and he watched it from the front row. The Congress has rained fire at the BJP for insulting the celibate Lord Hanuman. Sharing this video, the party had said that Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan must apologize for hurting Hindu sentiments. In fact, they have even sprinkled Ganga Jal and chanted Hanuman Chalisa to try and purify the venue, which allegedly got impure because there were women who were flexing. These were women bodybuilders and wrestlers. And not just Congress, even Akhilesh Yadav quipped in on social media saying that BJP is insulting Hindu gods. Here are some of these voices coming in.
बीजेपी की धर्म के साथ क्या ताल्लुक है, ये इसका बड़ा सबूत है कि वो न दूसरों के धर्म की इज्जत करते, न अपने धर्म की इज्जत करते। वो इस देश के अंदर कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। मोदी जी हैं तो सब मुमकिन है।
सीधे सीधे बजरंगबली हम सबके आराध्य का अपमान है। ये हम मांग कर रहे हैं कि तत्काल इनको या तो मुख्यमंत्री जी इस्तीफा दे दें अगर बजरंगबली से वो टकराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि बजरंगबली का जिनने भी अपमान किया है उनको तत्काल पद से हटाया।
1 माह पहले पठान पिक्चर का विरोध करते हुए उसे दीपिका पादुकोण की बिकनी में अश्लीलता दिख रही थी, जबकि दीपिका पादुकोण ने हनुमान जी को स्पर्श नहीं किया था, वो अश्लील थी। और इन प्रतियोगियों ने हनुमान जी के स्पर्श को करते हुए जिस बिकनी का धारण किया है वह ड्रेस संस्कारवान कैसे बन गई। यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी के चरित्र को हमको उजागर करना है। हम स्पर्धा के विरोधी नहीं हैं।
तो सवाल ये है कि क्या ये अपमान बीजेपी आरएसएस के लिए नहीं है कि आप भगवान के सामने इस तरह के प्रदर्शन को आप एक तो आयोजित कर रहे हैं।
But these athletes have taken on the regression. Hear them speak of the hard work required to compete at this level and appeal not to deride or insult a spokesperson and instead to judge them not by their attire but by their skills and glory.
हमारे कितने सारे एथलीट्स को गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स मिले हैं, तो बहुत मेहनत करके हम यहाँ पर आते हैं। कोई भी हार्ड वर्किंग को आप अप्रिशिएट कीजिए। आप कुछ गलत लिख के किसी का भला नहीं होगा।
फिटनेस एक स्पोर्ट्स है। फिटनेस में कई सारी कैटेगरीज होती है जिसमें ड्रेस कोड कंपलसरी होता है, उसके आधार पे प्रेजेंटेशन करना होती है। अगर उसमें किसी को इस अश्लीलता और ये लगती तो उसका नज़रिया का फ़र्क है। नहीं, हम भविष्य में अगर इस प्रकार की गतिविधि और हमारे स्पोर्ट्स को बदनाम करने का प्रयास अगर किया जाएगा तो हम सभी उसके प्रति कार्रवाई जरूर करेंगे। बहुत ही ज़्यादा निंदनीय है। ये जिसने भी ऐसा कथन करा है उसके अपने कथन पर उसको माफ़ी मांगना चाहिए।
And now, amid the criticism from the opposition, the BJP has hit back and asked why they are against women excelling in sports.
देखिए, कांग्रेसी लोग कभी भी महिलाओं को कुश्ती करते नहीं देख सकते, महिलाओं को वो जिम्नास्टिक करते नहीं देख सकते, महिलाओं को स्विमिंग करते, क्योंकि उसमें फिर क्या उनके अंदर का शैतान जागृत होता है। बहुत ही बेशर्म किस्म की व्याख्या और बयान है, और जो उसको कपड़ों से आंकते हैं मुझे तो उनकी सोच पर तरस आता है।
आज रतलाम में बॉडी बिल्डर्स की जो प्रतियोगिता का आयोजन किया गया था उसमें महिला प्रतिभागी भी आई थी और महिला प्रतिभागी ने अपने कला का प्रदर्शन किया है। तो उस विषय को लेके कुछ लोगों ने अपनी गंदी सोच का परिचय दिया रतलाम में और उनके ऊपर गंदे कमेंट किए गए और उनके चरित्र पे उंगली उठाई गई है।
Well, this of course isn't the first time that women athletes have been tagged indecent while their male counterparts are given a long robe. Let's remind you how women athletes have been consistently judged by their attire, not their performance, many times in the past as well. March 2015 in Malda of Bengal, you had a women's football match which was cancelled under Mamata Banerjee's regime. The reason for that, the Maulvis had objected to girls playing and they issued a fatwa. They raised issue of the clothes that the players were wearing. Then later, in September 2005, there was a fatwa against Sania Mirza, as we had just discussed. That time too, the clerics had said that her skirts are un-Islamic and corrupting for others. This, remember, is one of the biggest youth icons that India has had from the world of sports. And then in September 2021, Afghanistan Taliban banned sportspersons. Many would say it's not a surprise. Only sports women were banned. Taliban said that women's sport is not appropriate, nor is it necessary. In Iran, you had Ayatollah Khamenei. He had slammed flaunting, as he said, flaunting in women's sports. Iran had also banned women in gymnastics, in swimming and other water polo, where they felt their attire was not becoming enough. Well, unfortunately, remember, today the Congress and the Samajwadi Party have fiercely protested against this insult to Hindus. This is ironic, since they call themselves secular parties, but today they want to fashion themselves as custodians of Hindu Astha, doing just what the BJP, the RSS have done so far. Who really has insulted Hindus? That's the question. Let's remind you. Do you remember what Satish Jharkioli had said in November 2022? He had said that the meaning of the word Hindu is very dirty. Then you had Shivraj Patil in October 2022, who said that Krishna taught jihad to Arjun in Gita. You, of course, had the very famous quote, which has been quoted and often quoted, of P. Chidambaram, when the former Home Minister in August 2010, saying saffron terror has been implicated in many blasts. Digvijay Singh had also quipped in September 2013, saying, why is every Hindu terrorist a Sanghi? Swami Prasad Maurya, and it's important for us to talk about the Samajwadi Party because Akhilesh Yadav himself has tweeted today saying that BJP has insulted the Hindu Astha. Swami Prasad Maurya, Akhilesh's own party leader, had said Ramcharitra Manas is regressive and it is abusive. You also had Brijesh Prajapati of Samajwadi Party who had said Ramcharitra Manas has objectionable portions. I can list a whole lot of them, but that will take the whole night, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. These are the people today who are accusing the BJP of insulting Hindu Astha. Let's open this up and ask some very straight questions. Joining us today on the show, Mithun Vijay Kumar, a political analyst, Ratan Shardar joining us, an author, Reet Ibrahim is joining us, an athlete, and Lokesh Jindal, leader with the Congress Party, Ravi Srivastava, a political analyst, Vikas Silas is also joining us, a spokesperson with the Samajwadi Party. My first question is going to go across to Congress's Lokesh Jindal. Mr. Jindal, as you know very well, every akhada has an idol of Bajrang Bali. He is seen as the patron deity of strength, patron deity of wrestling and anything to do with fitness. You had no problem when all these years, over the decades and over the centuries, Bajrang Bali's idol has always been kept at every akhada. You have had men wrestling in langots there. You had no problem. But today you have a problem when women are wearing a two-piece and competing in front of the same cutout. Why?
Hi, Meghna. First of all, it's wrong to compare akhada with bodybuilding.
This is a competition.
Both these two sports are entirely different. Secondly, when I'm talking about Bajrang Bali, he is brahmachari. As a deity, he is known for brahmacharya, and all his disciples, they revere the deity. Even I am a devotee of Lord Hanuman. And as a brahmachari, there is no need to have him on the dais if there is a women bodybuilding competition being held. I mean, is it necessary to have Lord Hanuman being kept over there? Why is BJP time and again insulting the emotions and...
You didn't have a problem when men were wearing a similar attire. You have a problem because women are there wearing a two-piece, isn't it?
Meghna, please understand. There's no problem with that. Lord Hanuman is a brahmachari. Please understand. There is no need to have his idol kept on the stage where women are going to...
Since you're talking about Hinduism, do you have scriptures which back it and say it is intrinsic that there should be no women in front of Lord Hanuman? Can you please tell me where it says?
No, Hanuman, in fact, in the Hanuman Chalisa, in the Ramayana...
That women should not be there in front of Lord Hanuman. Can you please tell me where that says?
Hanuman is mentioned as a brahmachari.
Fine, I asked you a different question.
No, Meghna, listen. Even the temple priests in Salasar, those who worship, those who perform the ritual, they are Bal Brahmacharis. They do not, only those who are Bal Brahmacharis, they are allowed to enter and they are allowed to offer rituals to Lord Hanuman. The whole point is, what was the need of having the idol on
in the
stage?
Hindu scriptures that women should not be in front of Lord Hanuman's cutout or idol.
See, in Hindu scriptures, nowhere we have this form of a competition mentioned, nor do we
But
have...
I'm sorry, I'm tired of asking you the same question again and again when I'm not getting any direct answers. Reeth Abraham, here's the problem. They seem to have had no problem what men wear when they are carrying out these competitions, the very same competitions which have been held. You can have it if there are men, but when it comes to women, that's where the problem is. Different yardsticks for women, we've seen that in the past as well. Different yardsticks for women athletes. Reeth Abraham, the entire weight of morality must lie on you.
Serious objection to this. Wait. Serious objection.
I have a serious objection to maybe something you may have said. I'll come back to you.
Listen to me.
Since you're talking about a sport, since you're talking about a competition, let's listen. At least have the dignity to listen into someone who's actually made India proud with her performance. Reeth Abraham.
Religion. It is an insult to what I believe in. It is an insult to me being able to practice as a devotee of Lord Hanuman. It is an insult revert to a deity. And this
Lokesh
is
Jindal,
serious.
either you answer the questions I ask you, please do not disrupt the others. No. You have neither answered the questions I put to you, nor are you allowing other panelists to speak. Now here on this channel, we don't believe in dropping down the faders, but you are forcing us to do that. Let's not do that. Have some kind of sensibility shown. You have someone of the celebrated stature of Reeth Abraham. Please have the courtesy to listen to her. Reeth.
Yeah, I think this is totally politicized. Why should an athlete, a woman athlete, be judged by what she is wearing? What century are we in? And the women athletes for the past so many years have brought glory to the country. And now, just because Hanuman cutout is kept there and the women are wearing a two-piece, and that is what is required in a bodybuilding competition, they are supposed to show all their muscles. And that's how they are judged. And this is totally, unacceptable for the women athletes. It's not just now. I mean, the women athletes are always, trolled for what they are wearing. But when it comes to performance, nobody is talking about how well we are doing. Why is this? Why is this difference between the men and women? I mean, men also wear, just langots and do their wrestling and stuff like that. Nobody comments about that.
Yes.
Why only women?
Judge us by a performance, not by what we are wearing. Vivek Silas, and I find it very interesting that Samajwadi Party and especially your chief, Akhilesh Yadav, has come out saying that this is an insult to Hindu Astha by the BJP. And this is the same Hindu Astha that Samajwadi Party has been alleged of having violated. We just quoted some of the examples of what your leaders have been saying about Ramcharitra Manas. Today you are champions of Hindu Astha. Why this change of heart?
Yes, very good evening to you, Meghna, and very, very happy Holi to the viewers and the panelists.
Happy Holi to you.
As you said in the opening remark of your, show, you said the first line that you spoke that Bajrang Bali was a celibate. Yeah, we believe he was a celibate, he was a modest person, and he was untouched. He was a pure soul, untouched soul. And it is an old habit of the Bharatiya Janata Party to comment and insult on Hindu gods. I'll tell you how. To win an election, our Honorable Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said in Rajasthan, let me say something, What Yogi Adityanath ji said that Bajrang Bali was a Dalit and a Banwasi in Rajasthan just to win an election. Here in Uttar Pradesh, the Deputy CM said that Mata Sita was a test tube baby. And people here in the cabinet of Yogi Adityanath ji's cabinet, they say that Lord Ram was illegitimate. He was born out of Singhi Rishi and Maharaj Dashrath was not his father. This is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is always saying, it's on record. And it was a female body competition. We are not against the competition at all. You should be absolutely very clear. But Bajrang Bali stayed away from female in his entire life, and he is said to be still alive on this earth. Till the Satyug comes, he is still alive, according to Hindu mythology. This proves that the Bharatiya Janata Party uses Hinduism only for vote bank politics and nothing else. We have seen huge scams in Ayodhya in the name of Ram, Lord Ram, but the people who have done it, the MLA and the mayor of the Bharatiya Janata Party, they still continue to be in the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Ratan Sharda, would you like to respond to it? Because that's one thing that Vivek Sailas as well as Lokesh Jindal has said. It's important for us to get this very clear. In Hindu scriptures, is it intrinsic that Bajrang Bali is celibate and there should be no women in front of him? Does it say so?
See, the people who have no interest in Hindu dharma have been abusing Hindu
no such women in such dresses.
Women in such dresses should not be in front of Bajrang Bali. I've made that correction. Women in such dress should not be in front of Bajrang Bali. Ratan Sharda, where does it say?
First of all, अरे भाई शांति रखो ना. हो गया, आपने बोल लिया जितना बोलना था. आपने जो अपनी मिसोजिनी दिखानी थी, whatever misogyny you wanted to show, you have shown. Now you can keep your respect by not keep your speaking. This is typical example of what women should wear, we will decide. It is typical example what women can do, we will decide. And when you are into, when Mr. Jindal says bodybuilding is different from wrestling, tell me how in the God's name can somebody wrestle without building a body? That is one. Point two, there was a time when women would not go to Hanuman temple because it was not, because they were supposed to be brahmachari. That was a one time tradition. This is not dharmic text. This is only tradition. I am talking about traditions change over time. Now women go to Hanuman temple. I would ask the gentlemen who are all incensed about this, tell me whether that women go to Hanuman temple or not. Secondly, Shivling was not supposed to be touched by women. Now women touch it. Tell me whether the women go to Shiva Mandir and touch Shivling or not. Third, if they are saying that Hanumanji is the god for bodybuilder, why women cannot do that? When women are already entering the temples, they are already entering various temples, and they are a brahmachari. Then what about Sabrimala? Why all these people, so-called progressive, are saying that women should be allowed? What happens to Sabrimala? If his Ayyappa is a brahmachari, how does he lose his brahmacharya? Our gods are strong enough, sir. Traditions keep on changing. And if women want to build body and they have same aradhana for Bhagwan Hanuman, then they should respect it. And Hanumanji is Chirantan, he is Chirayu, he is Chiranjeevi. He is alive, that's everybody believes in Hanuman. So don't say was, he is. And that is I respected everybody. And you talk about Sabrimala, this is worse. By copying Islamists, they have come to the level of themselves becoming Islamists. What Taliban was doing, continuously is doing with women, this is what these people want. My answer question is whether the women go to Hanuman temple or Shiva temple, whether they want women to build bodies or not, who will decide? Will they decide?
Who are they to decide? Who are the custodians of Hindu Dharma? Ravi Srivastava, I am going to come to you because it's important. You've always been very liberal. Ratan Sharda has raised very specific pointed questions here. I want you to respond on that because you have been a champion of women rights. You have spoken very openly, freely and candidly when it came in the case of Sabrimala. Even at the time of Sania Mirza, everyone had spoken about how this is unacceptable, that a woman athlete is being derided and being judged on her clothes. Ravi Srivastava, do you endorse that today you have the Congress put Ganga Jal, say that this area has been made impure by women? Ravi Srivastava, do you endorse that mindset?
I fully agree with you. And first of all, even today, I am in full agreement that whatever has happened, there is nothing wrong in it. Okay. At the same time, the way my BJP friends are defending it, I would request them to organize such events across the country and do it before everyone. Start with UP, Bihar, Delhi, Bengal, everywhere. Do it, please. You have done a wonderful job. What a great show you have organized. Prahlad Patel, Chaitanya Kashyap, they have done a remarkable job. They have shown a new direction to the BJP, who was objecting to the bikini color of Deepika Padukone. Today you have become so liberal. You have become absolutely, non-misogynistic. And I fully agree with you. Please do it everywhere. It is a wonderful show. And this is an eye-opener for the country. That this is the way we can put the God and a woman in the two-piece bikini together. Wonderful. Go ahead, sir. Very good. BJP is justifying it. I justify your justification.
Okay, Mithun Vijay Kumar, let me come to you.
Just a moment.
That's an interesting. Can we draw these analogies of women body wrestlers in front of Bajrang Bali and the bikini of Deepika Padukone, which was much in news because of the irate and the fire and fury by the Sangh Parivar?
It was because of lurid dance. Nothing to do with bikini.
Is it a question to me?
Yes, we'll just come back to you, Ratan Sharda. This question is for Mithun Vijay Kumar.
You can't compare sports.
See, in this particular case, if you see, only Congress is getting offended and not the entire Hindu community. So, like you already said in your opening statement, it has nothing to do with the Hindu faith or Hinduism, because it's a way of life. Hinduism is a way of life, and there is no binding book of rules and doesn't mandate any dress code for women, whether it's a bodybuilding competition or anything else. Now, the same people who are saying, like one of the panelists said, who are saying that Hanuman is a brahmachari, are the ones fighting to ensure women enter Sabarimala temple when when there is a deity who is a brahmachari. So if it is about faith, then why is it not an issue when Sri Kamalnath cuts a cake on his birthday in the shape of Hanuman temple with a portrait of Lord Hanuman on it? Why is not an issue? If he is such a believer, why is that not an issue? So Congress must not try to introduce, a Taliban culture here. Congress is making statements that were not said that were not spoken against women even in the Stone Age. And like you already mentioned, Lord Hanuman is a patron god for sports and fitness in Hinduism, and comparing it with Deepika Padukone's dressing is nowhere. It's a wrong comparison, first of all. And this whole controversy has less to do with Hinduism and more to do with Congress's perspective of women. Seeing women in bodybuilders attire is an obscenity for them because their concept of a woman doesn't match with what they saw at the event. So this whole statement and the controversy reveals their
and that's ironical because Congress gave India the first woman prime minister. For the longest time had the woman chief. Lokesh Jindal, today your party stands of trying to impose Talibani diktats on women.
Meghna, there is a occasion and there is a atmosphere, a devotion, emotion associated with a religious idol and the ceremony. We have to understand that women going to Lord Ayyappan's Sabarimala temple, over there they are going with devotion. Over here there is a simply bodybuilding, and I would say they are showing off their
They've gone after years of hard work, practice. It's not easy to do what they are doing. That's a skill, that's performance. That's years of blood, sweat and tears. Lokesh Jindal.
Meghna, aware of this bodybuilding culture, very well aware. And I know how this entire ecosystem acts and functions.
It doesn't meet up to your standards, Mr. Lokesh Jindal, then?
I'm not advocating it. It's a way of life for few people, but Lord Hanuman's presence over there was not required. What was the idol of Lord Hanuman doing over there? I want to ask this question.
He's the patron god of fitness. Bajrang Bali, as we all know, when you are scared, when you want your strength, you chant Bajrang Bali. Who decides whether he should be there or not? Congress decides. Congress is the custodian.
It's not about Congress. It's about the very that Bajrang Bali is for.
Simple question.
Ratan Sharda wants to come in. Ratan Sharda?
I had asked simple question whether their women go to Hanuman temple or not, whether the women go to Shiv temple or not, whether the women go to Sabarimala or not. Give me just answer yes or no.
So you want a dress code on women, Lokesh Jindal?
Yes.
No. So
you want a dress code on women?
Whether goes to Hanuman or not, if Hanuman is brahmachari, why do your women go to Hanuman temple? Why do you touch Shivalingam there?
If he is a brahmachari, Ratan Sharda wants to ask, simple question, Lokesh Jindal, if he is a brahmachari, why do women go to pray at a Hanuman temple?
It's not about men or women.
You just said it's about men or women. You just said he's a celibate.
If somebody within this panel is not a prophet, what will you do? You will take that person out of the debate. Over here, when I'm talking about Hanuman, so can you please silence this person? He speaks because you have given him a license to talk whenever he wants. Don't interject now. Shut up.
Please do not use unparliamentary language on this word. You two were interrupting. I have asked all our panelists not to interrupt. Lokesh Jindal, simple question asked to you. Why do women then go and are allowed by apparently men and the Congress party allowed to go in, thank you for that, into Hanuman Mandir?
Meghna, they can go worship Lord Hanuman, but with proper attire. They want
and who decides this attire? You will.
No, the attire has to be with respect to the occasion. They cannot go in a two-piece. I mean, over here, will you accept this form of attire in the parliament?
They were not travelling around, roaming around, strutting in a two-piece. Perhaps you don't understand the sport. Read Abraham, you need to come in.
No, tell me.
Because here we have men sitting and telling women that they are trouncing around in two pieces to understand that this is a competition. Read Abraham. Unfortunately, this is the regressive mindset we've had in the past. And I listened to Reed Abraham. Yeah, she's someone who's actually competed for India, brought laurels for India. You want to decide what women have to wear. Now you want to decide whether women are allowed to speak or not. Please show her some courtesy. Reed Abraham.
So, yes. So the organizers decided they want to keep a cutout of Lord Hanuman on the stage. It was not the women who wanted it. Probably there were some of the women who didn't want it. And there were Hindu girls there competing, and it didn't make a difference to them whether it was the cutout was there or not. It was a competition. It didn't make a difference to them whether the Hanuman cutout was there or not.
Exactly.
So why is such a big issue made out of it? So what if the...
That's what we are objecting to, madam. That's what we are objecting to.
So what if the Hanuman cutout is there?
Was not required.
They are doing it with a clean heart. They are doing it with a clean heart and a clean mind. No, this is really unacceptable.
No, madam,
really
we have all respect for
So
women.
what if the Hanuman cutout
Nobody is objecting to this body.
They are doing it with a clean heart, clean mind. They are trained hard for what they are doing.
You've literally anguished an athlete like Reed Abraham. She's just shaking her head. She doesn't know what to say. Perhaps you don't understand what has gone behind years of training.
Hurting with sentiments.
Look at her face. That anguish really speaks volumes on Reed Abraham's speech. But Vivek Silas, here's my problem. When you had someone like Akhilesh Yadav, we expected a huge amount of change. When you have secularists like Rahul Gandhi who say Bharat Jodenge, everyone welcome that yes, indeed, we are going to have this wave of unity. And then immediately you are sprinkling Ganga Jal and saying women have made this place impure. In a land of India where the majority population are Hindus, you have said that women exiting the stage means that they have made it impure. We must now sprinkle it with Ganga Jal to purify it. Is that something, and I really want to know this personally as well, is that something that Akhilesh Yadav endorses? Does he think that women made that stage impure?
I think, Meghna, this is one of the best questions that you have asked me. You know, we talk about, you talk about Ganga Jal. You know, when in 2017 we came down from the power in Uttar Pradesh, and Akhilesh Yadav ji was no more the chief minister. When Mr. Yogi Adityanath, the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, took the oath, he washed the entire chief minister's house with Ganga Jal. But no one questioned him. Why did he wash? So because Akhilesh Yadav belonged to the OBC commission.
So now you are supporting what Yogi ji has done.
Let me speak, please. Let me, I am just saying that the questions were not raised there. And what the athlete sitting here, Reed Abraham ma'am has said. You said she had an anguish on her face, you know. When wrestlers sat on the Janta Mantar and alleged the Bharatiya Janata Party MP Brijbhushan Saran Singh, the head of the Indian Olympic Association, of sexual harassment and threat to death. What was that, ma'am?
She's not a politician.
And Mr. Sharda
I will take great offense if you treat her like a politician. She's not.
They should go to the temple. No, I am not treating her. She is one of the best athletes that India has ever got. Yeah, and she has bought India proud. Similarly, the athletes who were sitting in the Janta Mantar bought India proud. They won gold medals for India even in the Olympic, Asiad and the Commonwealth Games. They were being sexually harassed and, you know, they were given threat to life.
And which is why today they should be discriminated. Is that what you are saying? Vivek Silas, that women have been sexually harassed, तो आज उनको let's block them from even competitions. उनको sexual harassment किया, so now block them as well. Is that your contention?
Have the equal rights in India.
I think it's
Reed Abraham, please come in.
It's a right time for me to say. I think it's the right time for me to say that the politicians do your job. Take care of your constituency, take care of your citizens, and do what you have to do as a politician. Don't enter into this, field of sports and dictate terms to us athletes who are bringing glory to the country. This is what we have, day in and day out, we work hard and we have built our muscles and we have to do this because we have to do it. You have no right to tell us what we wear, what we do where. Sexually harassed, the politicians come, they think they can rule the sports associations and federations. No, you can't do it.
She doesn't get it, but you will explain it to her what athletes are facing. And Ravi Srivastava, is that one of the problems? That it's not about sports at all. Perhaps it's not even about Hindu dharma. It is all boiling down to politics. Is that the problem, Ravi Srivastava? And I expect a very candid, honest answer from you.
It's only that.
Nobody is clean as far as this aspect is concerned. But all BJP leader used to, recite in the parliament itself, whiskey mein Vishnu base or ram mein base Ram. Or jinme Mata Janki or Tarre mein Hanuman. Those kind of people are there. I ask only one simple question. Those who are justifying that, let the Hanuman cutout be touched by the two-piece bikini woman, let them say
that's not a bikini, please. Let's not do that. She's not wearing a bikini. She's in a gear.
Okay, right. In the same attire, let them send their party women to the temples also for worshipping. Absolutely fine.
Is that what you said at the time of Sabrimala? Then you were a champion of women rights, Ravi Srivastava. I'm quite surprised that today you'd actually say that.
No, I am just telling those people who are justifying that there is nothing wrong in it, touching that cutout of the Lord Hanuman, and that women can go to worship. There should be no restriction on their attire. Let them send a woman in the same attire to all temples. There is no problem. You can send it.
Mithun Vijay Kumar, do you feel threatened today? Does BJP feel threatened today that they were always called the custodians? They were mocked and said, you are not the custodians of Hindu Dharma. Aaj to it's Hindu Dharma ke custodians, aaj Congress and SP ho gaya hai.
The thing is, it's a very cheap politics that Congress is playing here, and I don't represent BJP first of all. And people like Lokesh Jindal, who are today, speaking about faith, they must understand that these are women participating in a bodybuilding event as part of their profession, and this is not some leisure time activity. And they have a dress code to follow. So this is just like insulting women at their workplace, and action must be taken against all those who are involved in this. And I asked one question, will Lokesh Jindal criticize, it's about faith you're talking, right? It's about faith you're talking. So will you criticize the same Kamal Nath for cutting a cake in the shape of Hanuman temple on his birthday if it is all about faith? So this kind of reveals the patriarchal, intolerant patriarchal mindset of Congress that expects women to dress up in a certain way. And it must be criticized by, irrespective of whether you are a right-wing supporter or a BJP or any other party.
Lokesh Jindal, I have a question for you. And Lokesh Jindal, I'm going to ask you a direct question. Please promise me before that you're going to answer my question, because you've really not answered any of my questions. I'll read out a tweet. This is from your own General Secretary, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, saying whether it is a bikini, a gungat, a pair of jeans or a hijab, it is a woman's right to decide what she wants to wear. It is a right guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. Stop harassing women.
Yes.
Was she wrong?
Absolutely, she's right. But why is the cutout?
You just said that she can't be right if you are today opposing this.
I would agree with Ms. Abraham over here. Mrs. Abraham rightly pointed out that many of the bodybuilders, they didn't like that Lord Hanuman's cutout was kept over there. But the organizers, especially the BJP MLA who was present over there, they had deliberately...
She never said that. Don't misquote her. She's still there and she's saying she never said that. Don't misquote her.
The image of Lord Hanuman and get political brownies out of it.
Problem to yahi hai. Let me come across to Ratan Sharda. Priyanka Gandhi says when it's bikini or gungat, a woman has the right to wear what she wants. Her own Congress people will go and say that women should not be allowed in front of Lord Hanuman. Ratan Sharda.
But my Lord, my Bhagwan, Hanuman is not so weak that he will mind women wearing what they are wearing as their power sports, first of all. And while they are continuously saying, bikini pehen ke mandir chale jao, they are insulting women in their sports wear. Does any women go to outside sports? Do they wear anything they like? They wear what the society expects or what they expect to go in a normal society to insult them for coming on stage in a certain attire because that is compulsion of sports. They are insulting women, they are showing their messages and that misogyny temperament, nothing else. And keep on saying that Bhagwan ki aastha. Are you sure that when they go to gym they don't have Hanuman ki pratima there? Are you saying that bodybuilding should be done in burqa? What kind of people these are?
Vivek Silas, would you like to respond to that? Should they wear a burqa to do bodybuilding?
Insulting. This is so insulting to God himself.
Can you stop insulting God himself, the God of fitness? Is what Ratan Sharda saying. Vivek Silas, stop insulting the God himself.
No, yes. Let him. Tell him to stop. I'll respond. Tell him to stop. I'll respond.
आपने योगी का अपमान किया.
रतन शारदा रुक जाइए ना, आप बोल चुके हैं. या आपको पूरा अधिकार दिया हुआ है टाइम्स नाउ ने कि आप किसी के बीच में बोल सकते हैं.
नाम लिया उनका.
हाँ मेघना जी, आपने इनको वीटो पावर दी हुई है.
टाइम्स नाउ ने किसी का फेडर डाउन नहीं किया है. आपकी भी आवाज उतनी ही आ रही है, इफ नॉट क्लियरर. बट विवेक सिलास जी आप बोलिए, आप बोलिए. प्रियंका गांधी भी बोलती है बिकिनी हो, घूंघट हो, मगर प्रॉब्लम तो आपकी पार्टी को हो रहा है, उनकी पार्टी को हो रहा है. बुर्खा पहन के करे क्या बॉडी बिल्डिंग?
मैडम आपने सबसे नहीं, बुर्का पहन के बॉडी बिल्डिंग हो नहीं सकती. बॉडी बिल्डिंग तो इसी ड्रेस में होगी और होनी भी चाहिए. इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल. बट यू सेड द.
अरे भैया मुझे बताओ, पहले हनुमान मंदिर में नहीं जाती थी स्त्रियां, शिवलिंग को नहीं छूती थी, आज करती कि नहीं करती? आपके घर की स्त्रियां करती कि नहीं करती?
क्या
हमारे भगवान वीक हो गए? क्या हमारे भगवान कमजोर हो गए?
रतन शारदा तो फिर महिलाओं को इसी अटायर में आप मंदिर भेज दीजिए. बजरंग बली एक सेलिब्रेट थे. बजरंग बली एक ब्रह्मचारी थे. उनके सामने आप इस तरह का अगर आप कंपटीशन ऑर्गेनाइज करेंगे, ये कहीं ना कहीं गलत है.
हनुमान मंदिर जाती है क्या?
आप कितना भी डिफेंड कर लीजिए रतन शारदा, आप इसको डिफेंड नहीं कर पाएंगे. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डिफेंड दिस.
अगर करती है तो 50 साल पहले नहीं करती थी.
It cannot be justified. Because Lord Bajrang Bali was a celibate, he was untouched by any woman. Such competition should not be held in front of Lord Hanuman. That is the only thing we object to. That is the only thing we are objecting to, nothing more than that.
स्टैंडर्ड एक ही आपका.
Don't talk.
हनुमान जी को फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
We are talking about the competition, not about the Sabrimala. We are not talking about Bajrang Bali temple. We are talking about this competition. Try to understand. A female, such a competition should not
in
be
that
held.
case, let me come in. Let me come in. Vivek Silas, I agree with you. This is a competition. This is not even a mandir that we are talking about. In a competition, if there is a cutout of Lord Hanuman, who decides whether he is being offended or not? Will you decide that the presence of women in whatever they are wearing is offensive to Lord Hanuman? ये कौन बताएगा? आप बताएंगे?
Wherever there is a statue of Lord Hanuman, it automatically becomes a temple. Wherever there is
and in a temple, women are allowed.
It becomes a temple.
Women are allowed.
It is not that only the temple is a temple.
Women go to temple, Hanuman Mandir all the time.
If you keep it at home, it becomes a temple.
Ravi Srivastava, would you like to come in? Because here, we seem to be going into the realm of complete bizarre. When you say that women should be allowed to wear what they want to wear, we respect them. Our party leader Priyanka Gandhi respect them. We respect them. But if they exit the stage, यहाँ पर हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ना चाहिए, इसको purify करना चाहिए.
I don't know whether they have that I don't agree that cleaning that particular place with the Ganga Jal and all that. But one thing is for sure that Lord Hanuman or Lord Ram or Mata Sita or the idols of the god should be brought everywhere just like that. They are good for temple only, and they should stay in the temple. That place is sacrosanct where they stay. So it is bringing a Lord Hanuman cutout on a stage. Somebody will tomorrow carry it on the head and do for election rally also. I think this is incorrect totally.
So Mithun Vijay Kumar. That is the specific problem that I get your point. Ravi Srivastava has made a specific problem that he says, why are you using a lord in the middle of a competition? He shouldn't have been put there.
I don't know if there is any hard and fast rule on using the cutout of Hanuman. I have seen, even in non-vegetarian, the cashier's desk of even some non-vegetarian restaurants have Hindu gods, at display. So does that mean they are hurting the sentiments of Hindus? I think it's an unnecessary controversy that Congress is trying to create at this point. And they are the ones who have always had a history of insulting Hindu gods, right from Digvijay Singh to Shivraj Patel, they have a long, even you had mentioned some of the instances where Hindu gods were particularly targeted by Congress. So today when Congress creates this controversy, it's very clear that they are trying to appease Hindus at the cost of women empowerment. So at this point, they are fine keeping women empowerment aside, and they want to appease the Hindu community. That's only to attack BJP or for some cheap politics. So this is a particular case where women at work are being insulted, and the National Commission for Women or the Women's Commission of the state must take this into consideration and take action against those involved in it.
And it's very interesting. Today there seems to be a role reversal from the time of the burqa ban, the hijab ban which had happened, where Congress and the right and the secularists, the so-called secularists and the right wing seem to have today switched places. You have the right wing today defending women's liberation. You have the secularists today saying Hindu Astha is hurt and we will decide what's Hindu Astha and how it's going to be hurt. But which is why, Reet Ibrahim, I want to give you the final word on this, because you're an athlete. You know what it takes. How does it feel like to have this politics around it? There's someone who's calling sports sleaze. Doesn't reach up to their high moral standards to have women who are wearing gear. Again and again the word bikini is being used for them, which I would take strong offense to. These are not bikinis, they are wearing their gear. As a Sachin Tendulkar would wear his cricketing kit, and you would not criticize this. This is just the same when it comes to bodybuilders or women. Reet Ibrahim, how does it feel like to be dismissed? Do you think it's gender specific and not about Astha?
To start with, right from the beginning, I said this is totally politicized. And if Lord Hanuman could appear and, comment on this, I would think he would say that the women competing, for bodybuilding in front of his cutout is not a big deal at all. But the whole conversation about him being there and, women not being allowed to compete and washing him with Ganga Jal would have been a bigger problem for him than the women competing with their, attire. This is totally ridiculous. And for all the women athletes in the country, we are in the 21st generation and we have brought laurels to the country. Allow us to do what we are supposed to do. We know our job. We will not go in a two-piece attire to the temple. This was a stage where they had to perform. This is not a temple. I don't know why the cutout was there, but it was really unfortunate that had to be there. But it's of no consequence. It is not an idol which was, which was placed there. It was just a cutout.
It was just a cutout.
That?
Don't judge women from the attire. If you want to judge them by their performance. Judge them by the laurels they get for India. Do not deride them. Do not call it a nudity show, as were the words which were used. And I think that really is the final word that Reet Ibrahim did have in this unfortunate political slugfest that it has turned into. Thank you so much, all our panelists, for joining us here today on the first debate on India Upfront. With that, this is the second debate that we are moving on to. Well, after attacking India for its democracy, Rahul Gandhi has decided to take his attack to the RSS. While speaking at London-based think tank Chatham House, the Congress president has equated the RSS to the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, which is a banned Islamist organization. Listen in to Rahul Gandhi's latest provocation that has wound up the Saffron Parivar.
The nature of the democratic contest in India has completely changed, and the reason it's changed is because one organization called the RSS, fundamentalist fascist organization, has basically captured pretty much all of India's institutions. RSS is you can call it a secret society. It's built along the lines of the Muslim Brotherhood, and the idea is to use the democratic contest to come to power and then subvert the democratic contest afterwards.
Well, this of course hasn't gone down too well with the BJP, which reminds Rahul of the role that RSS has played in nation building.
देखिए, मुस्लिम ब्रदरहुड 1928 में बनी और आरएसएस 1925 में बनी. वो भी धर्म की राजनीति करते हैं, आरएसएस भी धर्म की राजनीति करती है. वहाँ पे इजिप्ट के अंदर उनके पास एक बार ताकत आ गई थी, आरएसएस के पास भी एक बार ताकत आ गई है. तो बहुत सारी चीजें मिलती जुलती हैं इसलिए राहुल गांधी ने ये बात कही है।
कभी आपने देखा है उन्होंने कितना कोरोना में काम किया? आदिवासियों के बीच में क्या काम किया है? नॉर्थ ईस्ट में क्या काम किया है? राहुल गांधी कभी आपने जानने की कोशिश की है शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में क्या काम किया है? तो कभी संघ को समझिए और इस तरह के बेशर्मी भरे बयान देना बंद करिए।
So how accurate is Rahul Gandhi's analogy? Well, here are some hard facts that puts Rahul's jibe in true perspective. What is the Muslim Brotherhood? We are going to explain it to you, the difference between the two. Muslim Brotherhood is a designated terror militia that has carried out terror attacks. RSS is a socio-cultural organization never prosecuted under the Terror Act. You have the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a self-declared Islamist organization that is committed to the idea of setting up a theocratic state. RSS, which is the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, is committed to a constitutional democracy. The Muslim Brotherhood is an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood which had assassinated the former Egyptian President Anwar Sadat as well. When it comes to RSS, never birthed any organization that has been linked to assassination of an Indian head of state. Muslim Brotherhood, the chief of Al-Qaeda, Al-Jawahiri, remember he is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood as well. When it comes to RSS, there is no RSS member which has ever been part of a terror organization in the subcontinent. Which is why we are going to put some very straight, direct questions. Joining us today on the show, Mr. R.P. Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, Ratan Shardas joining us, and author Lokesh Jindal continues to be with us, leader of the Congress party. Ravi Srivastava is there with us, a political analyst. My first question is going to go across to Lokesh Jindal. Lokesh Jindal, you had Pranab Mukherjee, one of the veteran leaders of the Congress party, president of India. He had called the chief of RSS, Mohan Bhagwat, a great son of Mother India. Rahul Gandhi thinks of RSS as a militant organization, a terror militia at that. Which one of your two leaders was wrong? Both of them can't be right.
See, we cannot compare an individual to an organization. As an individual, with respect to his organizational capacity, he has done a wonderful job, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, but the organization RSS and the core value that it stands for has to be understood clearly. Whenever an organization derives all its ideas of justice on the basis of scriptures, there is a tendency towards fundamentalism and obscurantism, whether it's an Islamist organization, a Hindu organization, or any religious organization. So it is bound to go back to the scriptures, it will be interpreted in a particular manner, and that could lead to fundamentalist and obscurantist society, which could lead to bigotry in the society. And that is what has happened to the RSS.
So you're saying any organization which derives from scriptures can become a militant, yes, can become a terror militia?
Whenever an organization that is derived from religious authority, because religious authority is based upon infallibility of scriptures. That is, a scripture is infallible. You are not supposed to question it. Any form of a
like a Radha Swami satsang, let's say.
No, Radha Swami, whatever organization, whichever organization bases its ideologies, theories on the basis of infallibility of scriptures, it is bound to become fundamental and obscurantist. It is a law in humanities.
Okay.
So whenever you are having any religious organization, in time to come, it cannot violate the fundamental religious doctrine and its interpretation. It is bound to become fundamentalist.
And well, that's a very interesting observation that you have made, Lokesh Jindal. I'd really like to get others' views upon it. R.P. Singh, would you like to come in? Anything which draws its roots and genesis lies in the scriptures can someday become a terror militia.
There are two parts to it. One, that RSS is not an organization which belongs to any, which follows any particular scripture. Let's understand this. And again, Hinduism also doesn't follow any scripture. The problem with the congressmen and especially Lokesh Jindal, the follower of the Rahul Gandhi, is that they don't know what Hinduism is, what nation is, what is the nation as an ideology is. I mean, they still think that, oh, these are various nations put together, we made one country. And then that's the ideology they follow. And then Rahul Gandhi said that like Europe, there are many nations which have become one bloc. He's trying to relate India to that. But again, RSS don't prescribe or to any one scripture. Let's be very clear on this. They follow Hinduism as a way of life, and nationalism as way of life. I've been myself an RSS worker for 45 years. Not even a single time at any of the RSS Shakha ever any scripture is being told. We have been told to follow any particular scripture. And also, if Mr. Lokesh Jindal thinks that Gita is a scripture, I'm sorry, sir. Gita is not a religious scripture at all. If you think Bhagavad Gita is a religious scripture, Bhagavad Gita is a literature which helps you to guide you to be a better citizen, better human being. But I mean, the problem is that they don't understand all these subjects. For them, everything is religion. Okay. And I'm saying on record that RSS don't prescribe to any religion at all except Hinduism as a way of life. Okay. And there's nothing wrong in talking about Hinduism as a way of life. Okay. One. Secondly, you spoke about Pranab Mukherjee. Well, let me also tell. 1963, the Pandit Nehru, the great-grandfather of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, invited RSS to participate in Republic Day parade only because of the role they played in the 1962 war, the way they stood up by the Indian forces in 1962 war. And not only Corona, but throughout they have done work which joins country together, which brings the soul of the country together. Yes. There's the problem with them that they don't think this is one nation with one soul. They think there are many nations put together into one country. For them, India became India after 1947. Before that, there was no India. There were many countries here. There were many nations here. I mean, India has been one nation since ages. And
absolutely, and they are not thinking about expanding
India is one nation with one soul.
The way that Muslim Brotherhood aims to take territory under their own capture and impose their laws upon it, that I don't believe RSS has ever aspired to. But Ravi Srivastava, can the communal overtones in Rahul's remarks be ignored when he equates the RSS to the Muslim Brotherhood?
The Congress has never accepted the ideology and philosophy of the Sangh since the great grandfather of Shri Rahul Gandhi. It's not that they are radically different. They are totally two different lines of thought. The Constitution says that it's a union of states. That's written there in Article 1, Section A. Is written there. So there is no confusion on that. But as far as RSS is concerned, I have no qualms in admitting that initially, I'm talking about my childhood and young age, 75 or so, they were doing a wonderful work in the case of natural calamities and all those things. They were doing a wonderful job. But later, since that it formed in the way of the BJP, the RSS is a godfather for the BJP. So as the BJP came into existence in 1980, the all kind of pluralism, racism, regionalism, all kinds
and also terrorism. That's what we are debating. Does it make it a terror militia? You may say that they have changed in nature, Ravi Srivastava. Do you think that they are like a terrorist organization banned across the world?
The couple of cases were there. I think that the Malegaon blast or Samjhauta Express and all other. In few, it was almost said that it's not terrorist organization. It is supporting.
Let's not go into that. We all know about exactly what had happened.
Saffron terror
and the acquittals which came in that.
The Congress only.
Yes. But so Ratan Sharda, let me come to you.
By the Congress only.
Is it a fair comparison? I may take what Mr. Ravi Srivastava has said, that he feels that the character of a certain organization may have changed over the years. All of that is well and good. But has Rahul Gandhi somewhere overlooked Muslim Brotherhood's terror links when he compares it to RSS? You may not like it, you may disagree with it ideologically, but to call it a terror organization, has he forgotten about the antecedents of the Muslim Brotherhood?
First of all, I congratulate Rahul Gandhi to have guts to call out Muslim Brotherhood as a terror organization. Maybe just to put down RSS if he said it, but I'm very sure he's apologist. He himself will soon we ask forgiveness for making, calling Muslim Brotherhood a terror organization, because that is what they admitted. Secondly, for 70 years out of 75 years after independence, RSS has risen and grown in a secular Congress government despite all the oppression, every kind of oppression that they could face, they faced that. They will talk of ban. Every time ban was lifted with due respect by court process, it was not a favor by anybody. Thirdly, when they compare Muslim Brotherhood and RSS follows Hindutva, Muslimism follows Islam. What is the comparison between Islam and Hinduism? Islam is an exclusivist religion. It doesn't give any space to non-believers, kafirs in their scheme of things. They either convert or either they may put them as second-class citizen or they kill them. That is what is happening all over the world, including Pakistan, from where minority have been reduced to nothing, and Afghanistan, where numbers have gone down. And to compare the book with Hinduism, which has got hundreds of books, not one standard book, is very poor reading of Hinduism. That is because Congress does understand Hinduism or Hindutva. So to compare an inclusive ideology with an exclusivist fascist ideology is the first mistake they made. Now coming to fascism, what is fascism? Mr. Nehru brought in the first amendment in the constitution to stop freedom of press. You know that very well. And many people faced after that jails in that. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi brought in a bill to control the press. It was finally given up because of huge uproar by the media and other people. Indira Gandhi, the best example, who actually put entire country in a jail from 1975 to 77, and for that, who fought? RSS fought. 80% of people who were in jail were RSS people.
That's still not a terrorist act. You may say that democracy has been stifled under Congress, but that may not be a terrorist act. But Lokesh Jindal, I will ask you a simple question. Again, I really hope that you're going to give me a simple answer. Let's say you are wrong. Let's say they are wrong. And Rahul Gandhi is right that RSS is a terror militia. If it is a terror militia, how long has Congress ruled in India? Why didn't it ban it when it could have? If you really strongly have the conviction that it's an RSS is a terrorist organization, you should have banned it. Why wasn't it banned? Why was it hailed? Why was the then president go to the RSS shakhas?
Meghna, before I answer your question, I'll just make one point. My family
Lokesh Jindal, you always dodge my questions.
I won't dodge your question. I'll just make a point. So my Tauji is a founder.
We're running out of time. You have 10 seconds, Lokesh Jindal.
Wait a minute. My Tauji is a founder member of BJP, and my family knows Bhagwat Saab very well. He knows my family very well, and my family is very close to us.
So as per Rahul Gandhi, your family has terror links.
I'll tell you why. My education and what I taught to my students prevents me from accepting the ideology of RSS.
That's fine. You have every right. This is not about you.
That's very well.
Rahul Gandhi will say your family has terror links.
No, because I'll tell you why. Because when I'm talking about a modern liberal democracy and the ideology that RSS adheres to and the manner in which it wants to structure the society, to structure the economy and the political system.
You can disagree with RSS. I never said that you should agree with it. You disagree. You vehemently disagree. A quick word, RP Singh, you don't have much time. RP Singh, your disagreement, does it mean that you can call the other side of the ideological spectrum a terrorist organization?
Well, I have to say someone as a terrorist organization, Congress is a terrorist organization because they butchered 3006 in Delhi for the electoral objectives. And then killed more than 30,000
let's not get rhetorical here.
What can be better terrorist organization than Mr. Jindal, please hold your breath.
Let's not get rhetorical here.
And you talk
a simple question was,
come on, sir, please, sir.
Rahul Gandhi's charge, was it ill-founded? His analogy, was it short on facts? I think we've had an interesting debate. Unfortunately, we have to wind it up. We are running out of time. So I'd like to thank all you gentlemen for joining us here on the show. You've agreed, you've disagreed, you've vehemently disagreed. But hopefully, it'll be interesting to see if Rahul Gandhi ever comes out and gives an explanation as to why repeatedly he has called RSS the Muslim Brotherhood, and if the Congress ever decides to ban it when it comes to power, we'll have to look out for that. Thank you so much for watching.
$110 mm extra लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है। व्हील बेस के हिसाब से कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए, और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को, और सोशल मीडिया पर बाकी जो भी हैंडल्स हैं वहां पर टाइम्स ड्राइव के नाम से आप सर्च करें, उसे भी फॉलो करें। लेटेस्ट खबरें आपको मिलेंगी, और timesdrive.in है हमारा वेबसाइट। वहां पर तो लेटेस्ट खबरों के अलावा डिस्काउंट्स और जो स्पाई पिक्स हैं, आने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, उन सब के बारे में खबरें मिलेंगी। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी। हम बात करते हैं BMW 3GL की। क्रांति संभव रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेकंड रो ऑफ BMW 3GL। आमतौर पर ये वाला हिस्सा स्टोरी में बाद में आता है, लेकिन जब यूएसपी यही है तो फिर व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट द स्टोरी विद दिस। और यहाँ पे सबसे पहली चीज जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ उसमें कुछ बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। आई एम 6'3", बावजूद इसके लेग रूम, नी रूम आप देख सकते हैं कितनी ज्यादा मुझे यहाँ पर मिल रही है, यानी बहुत ज्यादा आरामदेह। आपको ये एक्स्ट्रा जो व्हील बेस है, एक्स्ट्रा जो इसका लेंथ है, वो आपको सेकेंड रो में देने वाला है काफी ज्यादा एक्स्ट्रा आराम स्पेस के हिसाब से। और दूसरी चीज जो मुझे खास लग रही है, थाई सपोर्ट काफी आगे तक है, इसका बेंच जो है काफी ब्रॉड है, तो वहां पे आप लंबी दूरी पर काफी आरामदेह तरीके से जा सकते हैं। एवरेज इंडियन हाइट के लिए तो ये जगह काफी है, लेकिन ये जगह एडिक्वेट होगी, क्योंकि मेरी हाइट के लिए अगर मैं कहूँ तो यहाँ पर अगर मैं थोड़ा सा।
You watching India up front. Here are the top focus stories we are tracking for you.
Times Now News Break Impact. Gehlot acts after Rajnath Singh dials Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. Rajasthan government accepts Veer Nari's demands. CBI grills Lalu Prasad Yadav in the Land for Job scam. Rohini Acharya, who had donated her kidney to her father, hits out at the centre, accusing it of harassing the ailing elderly man. Enforcement Directorate questions former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in Tihar jail in the Delhi excise policy case. ED arrests BRS leader Kavita's alleged frontman and Hyderabad businessman Arun Pillai in the Delhi liquor scam. Court reminds him to ED custody till the 13th of March.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मोहुल, who's founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं। So इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है, एंड कब इसका ऑफिशियली लॉन्च आप करने वाले हैं?
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है।
Summer में शुरू हो जाएंगी। So एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी कहूँ इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में, इसमें गियर है।
Yep.
इलेक्ट्रिक बाइक होने के साथ साथ इसमें वो आइस वाला आपने एसेंस, और बहुत बड़ा एसेंस इसमें बचा के रखा है। सो वो कैसे आपने उस पर काम किया, एंड हाउ डिड यू थॉट अबाउट दिस कि ये अगर हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर पाते हैं गियर शिफ्ट वाला पैटर्न, सो वो कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ?
So when we in 2019 when we were starting out, he spoke to a lot of consumers. He electric bike क्यों नहीं खरीदते? In 2019 there were only a handful of players who were giving motorcycles as a product. And
Zara Madhas Gopalakrishna. Ladies and gentlemen, not just in Afghanistan, Saudi and Iran, now women in India too are being policed for choosing what they wish to wear. The National Bodybuilding Championship held in Madhya Pradesh is in the eye of a storm after female competitors in their dress code allegedly performed in front of Lord Hanuman's cutout. Now, sniffing an opportunity, the Congress party came all guns blazing and called the championship a sloppy show and accused the championship's organizer, a BJP leader and city mayor, of mocking Sanatan Dharma. As a counter-strike, the Congress in fact netas sprinkled Ganga Jal as part of the purification of the venue and recited Hanuman Chalisa as well. Their only demand is that none other than Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, in fact because the function was allegedly held on the occasion of his birthday, should come in and apologize. Akhilesh too has slammed the BJP for insulting Hindu gods.
बीजेपी की धर्म के साथ क्या ताल्लुक है, ये इसका बड़ा सबूत है कि वो न दूसरों के धर्म की इज्जत करते, न अपने धर्म की इज्जत करते। वो इस देश के अंदर कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। मोदी जी हैं तो सब मुमकिन है।
सीधे सीधे बजरंगबली हम सबके आराध्य का अपमान है। ये हम मांग कर रहे हैं कि तत्काल इनको या तो मुख्यमंत्री जी इस्तीफा दे दें अगर बजरंगबली से वो टकराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि बजरंगबली का जिनने भी अपमान किया है उनको तत्काल पद से हटाया जाए।
एक माह पहले पठान पिक्चर का विरोध करते हुए उसे दीपिका पादुकोण की बिकनी में अश्लीलता दिख रही थी, जबकि दीपिका पादुकोण ने हनुमान जी को स्पर्श नहीं किया था, वो अश्लील थी। और इन प्रतियोगियों ने हनुमान जी के स्पर्श को करते हुए जिस बिकनी का धारण किया है वह ड्रेस संस्कारवान कैसे बन गई। यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी के चरित्र को हमको उजागर करना है। हम स्पर्धा के विरोधी नहीं हैं।
तो सवाल ये है कि क्या ये अपमान बीजेपी आरएसएस के लिए नहीं है कि आप भगवान के सामने इस तरह के प्रदर्शन को आप एक तो आयोजित कर रहे हैं।
But the nudity and obscenity charge hasn't gone down well with the athletes. They asked, since when did the dress code become a symbol of insult? They stressed that Lord Hanuman is the patron deity of bodybuilding, and dictating what women should and shouldn't wear reeks of a regressive mindset. Listen in.
हमारे कितने सारे एथलीट्स को गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स मिले हैं, तो बहुत मेहनत करके हम यहाँ पर आते हैं। कोई भी हार्ड वर्किंग को आप अप्रिशिएट कीजिए। आप कुछ गलत लिख के किसी का भला नहीं होगा।
फिटनेस एक स्पोर्ट्स है। फिटनेस में कई सारी कैटेगरीज होती है जिसमें ड्रेस कोड कंपलसरी होता है, उसके आधार पे प्रेजेंटेशन करना होती है। अगर उसमें किसी को इस अश्लीलता और ये लगती तो उसका नज़रिया का फ़र्क है। नहीं, हम भविष्य में अगर इस प्रकार की गतिविधि और हमारे स्पोर्ट्स को बदनाम करने का प्रयास अगर किया जाएगा तो हम सभी उसके प्रति कार्रवाई जरूर करेंगे। बहुत ही ज़्यादा निंदनीय है ये। जिसने भी ऐसा कथन करा है उसके अपने कथन पर उसको माफ़ी मांगना चाहिए।
But can the opposition take a higher moral ground, especially when its own leaders have berated Hindu Asta on multiple occasions, from the Hindu word is dirty to saffron terror to calling the book on Lord Ram regressive and abusive? The list of the hate playbook goes on and on. And this brings me to the legitimate question that we're asking this evening. How's Nari Shakti obscene?
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining us for more, we have with us Dr. Anand Raghunathan, author. Dr. Sunita Godara is the Asian Marathon Champion of 1992. Joining us also with us is, in fact, Kasturi Shankar, who's an actor. Pratibha Prahlad is a renowned artist and socio-political activist. Dr. Suman C. Raman is a political analyst joining us. Anurag Bhadoria is a spokesperson of Samajwadi Party. Dushan Nagar is also with us. He's a political analyst as well. Let me start with Dr. Sunita Godara. And Dr. Sunita Godara, you know, this entire controversy, many are seeing it as an extremely unfortunate one. Because leaving aside the politics, what has unfortunately happened over here is that hard-working athletes who have done nothing wrong, they have just competed in an event as they were very much supposed to, have probably worked really hard, worked not just months but years to come into this kind of athletic form for a national level competition. Yes. Unfortunately, today they have become grist for the mill when it comes to politics. How do you see this, Sunita Godara?
See, first of all, it is a dress code of bodybuilding because they have to show their muscles. So this is mandatory for them to wear their gear, and this is not two-piece bikini or something like that. This is the bodybuilding gear, first of all. Like we have in tennis, we have skirt, which is already mandatory by the Western world. Same way in athletics, we have gear. Gymnastics, we have body hugging gear. In wrestling, we have body hugging gear. So if people are objecting to gear, they are just stupid. They don't know anything about sports, first of all. Secondly, Lord Hanuman is symbol of strength. He is a god, but he is a symbol of power. And this is a power game. These girls are working hard for years and years, then only they are achieving this body shape. And they are showing their muscles. So there should not be any objection. Now the third point, very interesting, like the movie Pathan got so much of TRP because of this political controversy. I'm so happy as a sports person that now this bodybuilding show will become so famous, the bodybuilding will become so famous, then these girls will get some benefit. So thank you, these politicians. They do tutu meme, and the sports go. Now the whole world is watching. So the bodybuilding, which was not so famous sport for women, especially.
Well, your last point, I hope it's in jest, because that would be a very tragic state of affairs if we need a controversy or regressive mindsets like this to actually popularize sport. I think nothing can be more unfortunate. But let me quickly bring in some of our other panelists as well. In fact,
these people are doing it. So, see, they are doing their politics.
Let's start.
I'm a very positive person. Sports will not be harmed.
Right. Now, I want you to respond to our political panelists also.
They are not doing anything wrong.
I'm sure sports persons and sports is made of much stronger stuff than politicians and, whatever thoughts they may have on this issue. But let me quickly introduce Dr. Sunil Dabas, who's a Padma Shri as well as a Dronacharya awardee and coach of the National Women's Kabaddi team. I'm going to come to Dr. Sunil Dabas. थोड़े मिनट के लिए बने रहिए हमारे साथ. Let me bring in now Anurag Bhadoria. Anurag Bhadoria, अगर हनुमान जी शक्ति के प्रतीक हैं, तो इस तरह की रिग्रेसिव सोच हम क्यों ला रहे हैं, इस तरह की आपत्तियां क्यों ला रहे हैं? आपके पार्टी के नेता अखिलेश यादव ने खुद ट्वीट किया है कि भगवानों को इंसल्ट किया जा रहा है. ये कैसे नजरिया सोचने का 21st सेंचुरी में?
मैं तो सबसे पहले दिवाली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं हमारे सभी पैनलिस्ट
दिवाली की होली
देशवासियों को. मैं तो इतना ही कहूंगा जैसे बीजेपी की होली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. होली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. सुन लीजिए, होली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. और जो हमारे साथी बैठे हुए हैं जिन्होंने बोला कि कितनी अजीब सी बात बोली कि हमें कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत पड़ती है. ये शब्द क्या बोलने वाले होते हैं कि हमें कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत पड़ती है? ऐसा नहीं है. हमें कोई कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती हिंदुस्तान को. हिंदुस्तान के लोग सक्षम हैं अपनी ताकत दिखाने के लिए. महिलाओं को कोई कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर वो ताकतवर हैं तो सक्षम है. दूसरी बात मैं आपके बीच में नहीं बोला, मैं अपनी बात कह लूं फिर आप बोल लीजिएगा. दूसरी बात, माधव जी, आज मैं ये दिखा रहा हूं, ये आप पहचान रहे होंगे, ये गुजिया है. इस गुजिया के बारे में क्या हम कभी बात नहीं करेंगे? होली का दिन है, इतना महंगा है गैस, इतनी महंगाई है बाहर कि लोग आज अपनी गुजिया बनाने को तरस रहे हैं.
अनुराग जी प्लीज,
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बातें देखिए.
अनुराग जी प्लीज,
जनता पार्टी की बातें देखिए.
आज तो कम से कम इन पॉलिटिक्स को साइड में रखिए सर.
ये बहुत जरूरी बात है, पूरी बात होने दीजिए. अरे नहीं, पॉलिटिक्स को साइड नहीं कर रहा हूं.
बात बॉडी बिल्डिंग की हो रही है, हनुमान जी की हो रही है, आप गुजिया को कहां से लेके आ रहे हैं बीच में?
अरे बात देखिए, मुझे बोलने दीजिए, आप फिर मैं आ जाऊंगा.
नहीं, आपको हर किसी सब्जेक्ट पे बोलने का अधिकार नहीं है सर. आज जो सब्जेक्ट है डिस्कशन का उस पे बोलिए प्लीज.
अरे बोलने नहीं दोगे तो आप कैसे बात चलेगी?
सब्जेक्ट पे बोलिए.
अरे होली का दिन है, सबसे बड़ा सब्जेक्ट गुजिया है होली के दिन में. माधव जी, होली के दिन में गुजिया से बड़ा सब्जेक्ट कुछ नहीं हो सकता. तो मुझे बोलने दीजिए. सवाल यह है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का आप एक आलम देखिए, चित भी मेरी पट भी मेरी, हर तरह की चीज वो अपने हिसाब से अपनी कहानी बना लेते हैं. लेकिन जनता की बात ना हो जाए. कभी वो कांग्रेस ने क्या बोला उनकी बात करने बैठ जाएंगे डिबेट लेके, कभी किसी ने क्या बोला उनकी बात लेके बैठ जाएंगे. जनता ने क्या बोला है? जनता ने तो आपको सत्ता दी है।
पार्टी के नेता अगर इस पे सवाल उठा रहे तो सर उसको ट्वीट ना किया जाए।
माधव जी
अखिलेश यादव जी ने ट्वीट किया कल रात को 12 बजे और उसको ट्वीट ना किया, उसको ट्वीट के बारे में चर्चा ना की जाए। क्या कह रहे हैं आप?
अरे तो
इसमें बीजेपी कांग्रेस की बात ही नहीं आती। जब इस तरह की वहां गंगा जल छिड़की जा रही है, जब इस तरह की रिग्रेसिव माइंडसेट को दर्शाया जा रहा है तो उस पर कोई चर्चा नहीं होनी चाहिए। अनुराग जी कैसी बातें कर रहे हैं?
आपने पढ़ा ट्वीट, आपने पढ़ा?
बिल्कुल पढ़ा
आपने कि नहीं पढ़ा?
बिल्कुल पढ़ा है।
पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा?
बिल्कुल पढ़ा है, तभी तो बोल रहा हूं आपको मैं।
तो क्या था, जरा पढ़ के सुनाइए दोबारा।
नहीं क्या कहा कि भगवान को इंसल्ट किया जा रहा है, ये तो सीधा सवाल है उनका। और द पॉइंट दैट वी आर मेकिंग इज दिस कि इस तरह की कंपटीशन से जब वहां पे देयर कैन बी मेल कंपीटिटर्स इन द सेम स्टेज, हाउ डज दिस बिकम एन इंसल्ट ऑफ द गॉड? बिकॉज दिस इज द ईयर, दिस इज व्हाट सुनीता गोदारा इज आस्किंग यू। आप उसका तो जवाब दे नहीं रहे, आप गुजियों की बात कर रहे हैं,
तोड़ मड़ोड़ रहे हैं। फिर
बिल्कुल तोड़ मरोड़ नहीं रहे। बहुत ही क्लियर और स्पष्ट नैरेटिव, बहुत ही क्लियर क्वेश्चन है ये। क्या हम डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स और हिपोक्रेसी की कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ पे हम दर्शा रहे हैं? जब हम कहते हैं कि विमेन एथलीट्स वहां अगर परफॉर्म करेंगे तो ये गलत है।
अरे आपने डिबेट पे बुलाया है, खुद ही बोलना है तो बोल लो खुद ही। फिर मुझे क्यों बुलाया यार? कमाल के इंसान हो भाई।
सवाल पूछ रहा हूं आपसे, जवाब दीजिए।
मतलब फिर हमें क्यों बुलाया जब आपको ही बोलना?
जवाब दीजिए सर, गुजियों पे बात मत करिए, सवालों का जवाब दीजिए।
बोलते जा रहे हो, कह रहे हो सवाल पूछ रहा हूं मैं,
जवाब दीजिए
यार। अरे आपको एजेंडा चलाना चलाइए, मैं उठ।
एजेंडा नहीं है सर, सीधा सवाल है, सीधा सवाल है। प्लीज गिव योर आंसर अबाउट द डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ नेताज दैट आर ऑन डिस्प्ले टुडे।
अरे सवाल कितनी देर पूछा जाता है भैया? अरे 1 सेकंड सवाल पूछा, मैं डिबेट नहीं करूंगा, मैं बता दे रहा हूं आपसे। मैं आप सवाल
सर कोई कंपल्शन नहीं है, आप जवाब दीजिए।
खुद ही पूछोगे तो मुझे क्यों बुलाया? नहीं बुलाना चाहिए था मुझे ना, गलती की ना आपने मुझे बुला के।
अनुराग जी आपके पास इस वक्त जवाब देने को है नहीं और आप अननेसेसरी भटक रहे हैं। लेट मी ब्रिंग इन इनफैक्ट सुनील डबास। सुनील डबास जी, जब इस तरह के गंभीर सवालों का जवाब मांगा जाए तो लोग भड़क जाते हैं। अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्या ये मेंटालिटी को दर्शाता नहीं है कि किस तरह की हिपोक्रेसी आजकल देखने को मिल रही है?
देखो, वेरी सिंपल, उनको माफी मांगनी चाहिए और फीमेल की कॉस्ट्यूम के ऊपर अगर उनकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट है स्पोर्ट्स की, चाहे आप स्विमिंग में जाइए, वेदर इन एथलेटिक्स, इन बॉडी बिल्डिंग, ये रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके स्पोर्ट्स की, तो क्यों उसके ऊपर इस टाइप के कमेंट है? उस कमेंट करने की सोच से बाहर कब आएंगे? अभी तो मैं एक गांव से निकली थी, वो मेरा गांव भी बदल गया, तो अब तो 21वीं सदी आ गई है, तो बदलने की कोशिश कीजिए, बजाय कि आप बल्कि आपने हमारी भावनाएं हर्ट की है लड़कियों की इस ड्रेस को बिकनी कहकर। भगवान के सामने आपसे ज्यादा वो बच्चे जो इसके सामने खड़े हैं, वो आपसे ज्यादा पूजा करते होंगे, वो भगवान को आपसे ज्यादा मानते हैं। बजरंग बली की पूजा हम हर मंगलवार, ग्राउंड हमारा खाली जाता है, हम बजरंग बली को हर मंगलवार पूजते हैं, ग्राउंड पर पूजते हैं उनको। भगवान आपसे ज्यादा हम उनकी परवाह करते हैं। तो भगवान केवल आपके नहीं है, बच्चों के ऊपर जो खिलाड़ी हैं उन खिलाड़ियों को इस तरीके की भद्दी भाषा अगर आप लोग यूज करते हैं, बिकनी कहकर आप लोग हमारा आत्मसम्मान गिरा रहे हैं। क्योंकि हमारी लड़कियां हैं, बहन बेटियां हैं, वो वर्ल्ड लेवल पर हर गेम में अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है। जिम्नास्टिक में हमारी लड़की जो ओलंपिक में 4th पे पहुंच गई, तो क्या हम उस जिम्नास्ट की लड़की को कुछ भी उसकी ड्रेस का नाम दे देंगे? क्या हम उस बच्चे की भावनाओं को समझेंगे कि वर्ल्ड में स्पोर्ट्स की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है? आप अपनी सोच को ग्रामीण और या उस एरिया से निकालिए जिसमें आपकी सोच को जंग लग गया है। जो भी कमेंट लड़कियों पे किए गए हैं शेमफुल है। हम ये समझते हैं कि उन लोगों को, इन बच्चियों से माफी मांगनी चाहिए और स्पोर्ट्स को रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए।
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आई थिंक द क्वेश्चंस आर ऑल देयर। आई वांट दुष्यंत नागर टू सिंपली रिस्पॉन्ड। दुष्यंत नागर जी, बहुत ही सिंपल सवाल उन्होंने किए हैं और कहीं ना कहीं ये सोच पे सवाल उठते हैं। इन प्लेयर्स का इंसल्ट किया जा रहा है, ये कह रहा है हमारे नेशनल कबड्डी कोच का। जवाब दीजिए इनका।
देखिए, बिल्कुल उनका जो कंसर्न है कुछ हद तक वो ठीक है। हमारे जो स्पोर्ट्स के जो खिलाड़ी हैं उनके ऊपर सवाल नहीं करना चाहिए, उनकी ड्रेस को लेकर भी सवाल नहीं करना चाहिए। लेकिन हमें एक चीज़ याद रखनी होगी कि वहाँ श्री हनुमान जी की एक बड़ी सी प्रतिमा लगी हुई थी और वहाँ बॉलीवुड के म्यूजिक चल रहे थे, तो वहाँ एक ऐसा माहौल नहीं था, कोई धार्मिक माहौल नहीं था। वहाँ पे कोई हनुमान चालीसा का जप नहीं हुआ, वहाँ हनुमान जी की प्रेयर आरती नहीं हुई थी। तो हमें ये देखना चाहिए कि श्री भगवान हनुमान जी की मूर्ति को कहाँ स्थापित करना है, कहाँ नहीं करना है, और कहाँ किस प्रकार का माहौल है। तो माहौल को देखते हुए देखिए, हमें जो हमारे धार्मिक देवी देवता हैं उनके प्रतीकों का, उनकी मूर्तियों का इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए। और ये इतनी सी बात है, इसको भारतीय जनता पार्टी क्या है, हर वक्त राजनीति करने के मूड में रहती है। अगर ये कार्यक्रम कहीं पे हिमाचल में, राजस्थान में, छत्तीसगढ़ में, झारखंड में रहा होता तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी अब तक सड़कों पे आ जाती।
ये गंगा जल छिड़कने का क्या आइडिया था?
हनुमान जी का
क्या उसे आप एक राजनीतिक कदम नहीं मानते हैं दुष्यंत जी?
लेकिन इनको क्या है, आज इनको ये वाला एंगल शूट कर रहा है तो ये इधर चल रहे हैं।
उसका कोई राजनीतिक महत्व नहीं है क्या? कांग्रेस इसको
तो उन्होंने हनुमान जी के 40 का जाप किया है। भाई साहब, आज मंगलवार है, मंगलवार को आपको, हमको, सबको हनुमान 40 का जाप करना चाहिए। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस लोक उजागर, रामदूत बलदामा पुत्र पवन सुत नामा, महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमत निवार सुमित के संगी कंचन वरण राज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। तो लोग गए हैं, उन्होंने हनुमान 40 का जाप किया, इसमें क्या गलत है? ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। हनुमान जी सबका मंगल करे। मंगलवार है, होली है,
ये हम सब जानते हैं दुष्यंत नागर जी, ये सब जानते हैं। मेनी हैंड्स गोइंग अप। इन फैक्ट डॉक्टर सुनील डबास वांट्स टू रिस्पॉन्ड। आई वांट डॉक्टर सुनील डबास टू कमेंट ऑन दिस। सुनील डबास जी, जवाब दीजिए। दुष्यंत नागर का कहना है हम तो बस हनुमान 40 जापने गए थे, मंगलवार का दिन है। बिल्कुल सही है, कोई गलत काम नहीं हुआ, कोई राजनीति नहीं हुई।
सर, अगर आप उस स्थान को जहां पे इन बेटियों ने अपनी ताकत का लोहा मनवाया है, जहां पे वो अपना स्पोर्ट्स कर रही हैं, अगर उस स्थान को उन बेटियों की वजह से, और जहां पे हनुमान को वो अपना वो मानती हैं, अपना कुल देवता मानती हैं, और वो अपने साथ लेकर चलती हैं, ओलंपिक की सीढ़ी अभी हनुमान जी के बलबूते पे हम आगे बढ़ते हैं, तो वेरी शेमफुल कि आप वहां पे भगवान को ये मानते हो कि वहां जगह नहीं थी रखने की। वो लड़कियों का जो टूर्नामेंट है वो अपवित्र जगह थी क्या? जो लड़कियां वहां पे परफॉर्म कर रही हैं, जो स्पोर्ट्स का नेशनल एक टूर्नामेंट हो रहा है, वो अपवित्र जगह कैसे हो सकती है? वो हर बच्चे के लिए अपना मंदिर है, जहां पर वो अपनी परफॉर्मेंस देता है, वो ग्राउंड उसका मंदिर है, उसको वो माथा चूम के अंदर जाते हैं। हम अपने ग्राउंड को जब छू के अंदर जाते हैं तो आप वहां भी कहोगे कि हनुमान जी
भूमि पवित्र है, लेकिन इन भाजपाइयों ने, भारतीय जनता
पार्टी, भाजपा की बात कहां से आ गई?
राजनीति की है, वो उचित नहीं है।
भाजपा की बात नहीं है।
और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, हनुमान जी की मूर्ति के आगे जिस प्रकार से गाने चलाए गए, वो गाने उचित नहीं है। क्या वहां पे श्री हनुमान जी की आरती का आयोजन किया गया? नहीं किया गया। हनुमान 40 का पाठ किया गया? नहीं किया गया। तो ये अनुचित है।
दुष्यंत नागर जी, पहली बात मैं आपको बता दूं कि पिक्चर्स ये भी है कि वहां पे स्टेज पे चढ़ने से पहले किस तरह उस कटआउट, मूर्ति नहीं है पहली बात, कटआउट है, ये एक विजुअल इमेज का कटआउट है, मूर्ति है नहीं पहली बात। तो आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन थोड़ी सी फैक्चुअली मैं वहां करेक्ट करना चाहूंगा। और स्टेज पे आने से पहले सारे खिलाड़ियों ने आपका नमन किया, अपने हाथ जोड़े, और ये कई लोगों का ऑब्जेक्शन भी था, तो आपको ये भी बता दो। बट लेट मी, सिंस रिपीटेडली द नेम ऑफ बीजेपी इज कमिंग इन एंड आई एम सीइंग मेनी हैंड्स गोइंग अप ओवर हियर, आई वांट डॉक्टर आनंद रंगनाथन टू कमेंट. Kasturi, I am seeing your hand. Please give me a few minutes because we have multiple panelists, we have many voices. Sumansi Raman, I have noted your hand going up as well, but please be a little patient. We're going to have a longer debate today, but I want to go to each one and do justice. So let me go across to Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Now, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, now there are many points that are being put forth. There are people who get up, worked up and walk away from the debate like Mr. Bhadoria has, because the questions are just so fundamental towards how easily people can actually, I mean, it's mind-boggling how in the 21st century we can actually make this a political issue just because women are actually there on stage and performing.
No, absolutely. Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. There are three issues here. Number one, I think the Congress should sincerely apologize for creating this controversy and being misogynistic to the core. As the lady athletes and the lady doctor has said, this is the dress code for the women bodybuilders. And they have an inspiration, not just the men, but the women as well. Eulogize Lord Hanuman. And Dushyant ji is a very good friend. He narrated a little bit of Hanuman Chalisa. I also know a little bit of Hanuman Chalisa. Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar. ज्ञान और गुण के सागर हैं। जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। राम नाम अतुलित बलदामा। अतुलित बलदामा, immeasurable strength. The God possessing him. So why shouldn't bodybuilders be inspired by Lord Hanuman? And why just men bodybuilders? So number one, that is. Number two, being a Darwinian atheist, honestly, I have no skin in the game, but this much I know. Hinduism has survived 5 millennia because it imbibes the scientific virtues of diversity, empathy, independent thought and reform. In Hinduism, religion is an offshoot of the way of life. While in Abrahamic ideologies, way of life is an offshoot of religion. It follows that the former is less shackled by rigidity or by rules and diktats and is therefore more mutable. Celebrating diversity of its followers, as always the source, the fountainhead Madhav, dictates the mutability and eagerness to change. In Hinduism, there are sects that promote and celebrate atheism, Charvaks. There are sects that reject Vedas altogether, Lingayats. How gloriously ironical is that? Rejecting your holy scriptures and yet being proud Hindus. Can this happen in any other religion? Hinduism is an all-accepting, all-questioning idea. It teaches us to mock all isms except criticism. And so, personally, I find nothing wrong in women bodybuilders exhibiting their craft in front of Lord Hanuman. 3 very briefly. Congress speaking up for Hinduism and Hindus is like Hafiz Saeed speaking up for peace and non-violence. Congress has a history of Hindu phobia. Remember the statement by Congress leader Jarki Oli that Hindu has a dirty meaning and Indians should be ashamed of it? And who did Rahul Gandhi, by the way, meet recently on his Bharat Jodo Yatra? Yes, the virulently anti-Hindu pastor George Punaiya, who told him, quote, Jesus is the real God, not Shakti. Then there is Shivraj Patil, who claimed Lord Krishna taught jihad to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Recall how Mahila Congress leader Lavanya Balal made a Gaumutra jibe save as the Pulwama bomber. And an alleged post by the Congress youth wing leader Shaukat Ali called Hinduism a terrorist religion. Recently, a Goa Congress leader Jalmi termed Hindu god Parashuram a terrorist and a rapist. Congress mouthpiece National Herald routinely publishes Hindu-phobic articles, including one where it said Hindu epics were replete with misogyny and Me Too instances. Remember, Congress celebrates Tipu Jayanti despite knowing he demolished hundreds of temples and converted and butchered lakhs of Hindus. And who can forget that the phrase saffron terror was coined by the Congress and that it wanted to pass the communal violence bill where only the majority, i.e. Hindus, would be held guilty in a communal riots. Rahul, just 20 seconds, Madhav, please. The Congress dispensation in 2004 asked a Hindu Doordarshan anchor to not display his Hindu sacred symbol Kalava. Remember how Congress leaders publicly butchered a calf just to mock Hindu sensibilities in Kerala? Recall how time and again, just 10 seconds, the Congress derides and insults and denigrates Hindutva, despite the fact that Supreme Court has asserted that, quote, Hindutva means the Indian culture and not merely Hindu religion, unquote. So Congress should be the last party and people to be standing up for Hinduism.
Okay, Subansi Raman, the Congress is the last party that has qualified to actually comment on this. And just one point that I am just not able to understand is that at the end of the day, they are bodybuilders. It's their job to show off the muscles that they've worked hard to develop. So, I mean, where's the question of even objecting to the kind of gear that they are dressed up in?
Madhav, first of all, it is interesting to see the Congress do a BJP to the BJP. Second, irony just died. I mean, we've got BJP spokespersons and leaders vying with one another to defend, the right of women to dress as they please. Now, I'm sure, Madhav, since you gave Dr. Ranganathan a very substantial period of time, you will give me half that amount of time, right? Rape cases increase as women's dresses excite men. This is from a BJP MLA, Renukacharya. Women wearing jeans not good for India, okay, says a BJP leader from Madhya Pradesh. Girls visiting pubs in short dresses must be stopped, says Goa minister. Okay, this is again a BJP government minister. BJP MLA demands ban on skirts. This irks women leaders and girls. Madhya Pradesh Home Minister objects to Deepika Padukone's dress in Pathan. BJP leader slams Urfi Javed for wearing revealing. I mean, I could go on, Madhav. Madhav, this debate is, we are seeing the depth of irony today. And I mean, it's unbelievable that, but I'm glad that it's actually happening today. I think we must compliment the Congress for having made it an issue so that at least we can get to see BJP spokespersons and supporters supporting the right of women to wear what they like. I think matter is completely, the objective for which the Congress has raised this issue has been achieved in its entirety. Great, and I just hope they continue like this
really
instead of reverting back to all those statements that I read.
Two wrongs
Actually,
I don't think make a
much
right.
longer
I'm
list.
not going to counter any of the points that you made on the factual part of it, Sumansi Raman, but I think there's a serious issue of attitude towards women, which I think, political parties think that it's something that they can so easily bandy about. And let me bring in several of those voices. Let me bring in Pratibha Prahlad as well as Kasturi Shankar. Pratibha Prahlad, is this really a laughing matter that the Congress has today done a BJP, as Sumansi Raman alleges, even if he is factually correct? Isn't that really unfortunate? Because these are mainstream political parties of the country that we're talking about.
So, we are having this debate on the eve of International Women's Day, and that is really the biggest irony of it all. And what I have to say is there are two main overarching issues here. One is that this is a sporting event, and like everybody else is saying, there are international standards of dress code to judge a sporting event. So if there's a bodybuilding event, women are in bikinis, so what? I mean, it's fine. So they are supposed to show what the work they have done on their bodies, and it's a competitive sport. So I don't see anything wrong in that. And I think for those who are talking about the dress code, this is a subversive attempt to control women's bodies and women's clothing, whether it be in public spaces or whether it be in sporting events. Sporting events have their own dress codes, so nobody has the right to speak about it, right? The point number two is that there was a cutout of Hanumanji over there. Now, if men bodybuilders who just have a loincloth around them can have cutouts of whatever, I mean gods or have minimal dressing, I don't see why this should be an issue for women, because as a woman I think women have every right to have control over their own bodies and their choice of clothing. And of course a sporting event, they don't even have a choice, because the sporting event gives them a certain international standard of dresses or dressing. Right. So, but my point here is something little different. Please bear with me for one more minute. Sporting events are intersectional in nature. All kinds of people come to sporting events. So I really feel that as a Hindu, as a person from the culture space, as a culture specialist, I really feel that our gods should be restricted to spaces where they are worshipped and where they are revered. That they should not just be displayed all over the place, in any manner that they wish to. As ridiculous as it sounds, this purification of the space through Ganga Jal and purification, some nonsense that the political party, the Congress political party, people are speaking about. I also feel that all political parties are guilty of lack of knowledge, lack of auchityam, in worship. Auchityam, loosely translated, means propriety, okay? So you have to, gods have to be worshipped. Gods, I know that Hanuman is associated with bodybuilding, but there need not be a cutout of him, for public displays. All that I'm saying, because
there is a cultural association there, Pratibha.
I'm not insulting Ganga Jal. I'm just saying that.
Let me just come in now. But Suman, the larger point that she has
made
is very important.
Madhav, I know there is a cultural association, but
she is insulting. Insulting.
There is a cultural association, but see, people are walking.
No, but Sumansi Raman, what about the attempt
please,
to snatch
I'm a Hindu,
agency?
I'm a worshipping Hindu,
I'm
a practicing Hindu, and I'm not...
Absolutely, Sumansi Raman, you're taking away from the core of the debate. I have already told her, I have already said that there is a context in which all this is happening. But the larger question is this. It's being seen as nothing but playing politics over women and their rights.
Nonsense.
What is nonsense?
Yes. Maybe I should trying to control, women's bodies. What is nonsense? If your understanding of English so poor that you don't understand what I'm saying,
Madam, no, madam, it's not.
If your understanding of English so poor, Suman, please, for God's sake.
You said that they did some
I said that purification
nonsense. I want you to explain what you mean by that.
I'll tell you what I mean by that. This is a sporting event which is happening on a stage, and then there are some misogynists, patriarchal people who don't understand Sanatana Dharma or what the implications of it, who are saying they're going to purify that place, through Ganga Jal. Ganga is holy. You know, you don't just purify. I mean, doesn't it sound ridiculous to you?
Absolutely, and that's what was stated by the. I mean, I don't think Subhansi Raman. You followed what was said earlier by Dr. Sunil Dabas, where she very clearly articulated that by saying that women athletes. Subhansi Raman, now listen in. Since you've asked a question, listen to the response, because this was cited by the national committee coach who's on the panel. She's saying you are insulting the athletes who performed, who worked hard, by saying that their performance on stage has polluted the stage. You're purifying what? You're purifying something that's been polluted. Exactly. So this is obviously a sign of the regressive mentality once again, Subhansi Raman. How can you defend this?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now ask the lady to answer the question, why women wearing jeans is not good for India, as quoted by a BJP leader.
So who is justifying that?
To justify that?
Who is justifying that, Subhansi Raman? Come on, this is the last. This is the absolute. I mean, I'm at my wit's end with this kind of a question. Who can justify these kind of statements? Obviously, they are wrong. Nobody, two wrongs don't make a right, sir. Let's not justify this. Let's not justify this. Let me bring in Kasturi Shankar on that point. Kasturi Shankar, you know, there may be a number of leaders of other political parties who may have made controversial statements. Does that justify what's happening today? I mean, what kind of an argument is this?
Apart from Sumant, he got completely
No, I'm saying that the Congress has succeeded.
You made a point, Sumant. Now listen to the response, please.
Actually,
Sumant, please calm down. Listen to the response. You made a point. You made a point. Now listen to the response. Let Kasturi speak.
Oh God.
He got diverted. He is all about, look at what BJP said before, and now they are standing up for the rights of women to dress whichever way they want. No. This is not what's happening here. What's happening here is that the hypocrisy and the double standards of every political person, no matter party, no bar, every political leader who is thinking that they can milk this, their hypocrisy is being exposed. Be it BJP during the Deepika Padukone controversy, or be it SP and Congress right now. Every single person is targeting women at the end of the day for their political gains. Who is suffering? Legitimate athletes and women. It takes forever. Madhav, you have no idea how difficult it is to convince women to come onto a public stage. How difficult it is to make them even go to college. And then to come to show business. And the most difficult of them all is sports, because sports involves training long hours, being in the care of third-party people, not going to their families. It involves a lot of lifestyle changes, which have been slowly, women and girls are being convinced to come into the sporting field. Slowly, we are making advances. And to then slut shame them, to body shame them, to tell them that they are unclean because they are wearing their required gear. It's ridiculous and it's so hypocritical. Especially, and I want to talk about the guy who just left, that Neta. He's so confused. He doesn't know if it is Deepavali or Holi. He doesn't know if it is bodybuilding or a sport or a scandal. He doesn't know any of that. Or he just wants to keep talking. He doesn't even know what the debate is about. He's talking about LPG gas. So, you know, at least the other Neta here stuck to that point. And to you, sir, I say, why shouldn't there be an image of Hanuman there? Wars have been fought by kings whose Kul Devata is Vijay Chamundi or Lord Venkateshwara or the Lord Goddess Bhuvaneshwari. They bow down. Shivai, goddess Shivai, was the goddess of Shivaji Maharaj, and she was his patron goddess. You know, we go to a restaurant, we go to a bar. The Hinduism is part and parcel of India's culture. You go to a bar today, in the owner's little cubicle, you will find God pictures. Uska danda hai, wo to pranam karke danda shuru karega na. Subah. So you cannot say God should only be here to the Madam, Pratima Madam. You cannot say God should only be here, God should only be there. You can say you can't have a bodybuilding contest inside a temple. Okay. You can say you can't have a bodybuilding contest inside a temple. But you cannot say you can't have God here, because you know what?
Questions coming in for both Sumant and Pratibha Parad. I'm going to let Sumant respond. Sumant, I think she's raised a number of pertinent points that I want you to respond on. Number of pertinent points, sir. I think she has actually exposed her arguments today on television. Please respond to her.
Madhav, I continue to maintain that I think that this issue was raised purely to embarrass the BJP and highlight the double standards that they have. And I think that politically that has been successful. The very fact,
I find it amazing, sir, that they have exposed the BJP. I mean, Anand Ragnathan, is it par for course? I mean, is this all? Everything's just grist for the mill. Attitudes towards women, all of this is just par for course. What is the kind of argument we're talking about here, Anand Ragnathan?
Espouse liberal values.
Can I please, Madhav, with your permission? Yeah, very briefly, 2 points. First of all, may I humbly disagree with one of the lady panelists who said that one should not exhibit gods or images of gods, wherever one pleases. I disagree with that because in, let's say, literature festivals, how you open it for books and other things, you have goddess Saraswati because she is the goddess of wisdom and, books. And likewise, Lord Hanuman is the god of strength and is an icon for bodybuilding. माने हनुमान जी की जगह क्या युजवेंद्र चहाल को रखेंगे उनका कटआउट? And number 2,
Ma'am, Kasturi Shankar, let him make his point. I'll give you a chance as well. Let him make his point, please.
Yes, and number 2, as far as I think Dr. Sumant Raman, while I agree with it is a legitimate recourse to take whataboutery as a defense, and he has taken that. The fact of the matter is he has only narrated the misogynistic comments, rightly so, and condemnable, of BJP leaders. He's completely missed out dozens and dozens of misogynistic anti-women comments by Congress leaders. But be that as it may, the point is today to brush off this as Congress exposing BJP's hypocrisy is quite laughable because here the Congress is exposing its own misogyny.
Right.
Because the Congress feels that women, cannot come out in open wearing a dress code for a sports competition, and B, they cannot idolize or eulogize the god of strength, who is Lord Hanuman. He is equally a god for men as well as women.
Let me bring in Pratibha Prahlad on that. Pratibha Prahlad, at least 2 panelists have very strongly condemned your comment that there should be no god statue there because they say that, that is incorrect in a country like India. This is normally a common practice. It happens. There is Saraswati Vandana that happens at the opening of functions. There's nothing wrong with that. Why are we running away or brushing away from the major issue, which is the attitude towards women? Please, one second. Kasturi, let her respond. You have asked her a question. Give her a chance to respond.
Okay, just hear me in silence for 2 minutes, please. Just 1 minute if you want to. I want to respond to the previous panelist. I'm a classical dancer of 55 years standing, and we have Nataraja on stage, we have God Jagannath on stage, and we have many other gods on stage as appropriate for that particular style of dance. So I don't have an objection to that. But when we go on stage, we go without shoes, without chappals. We do Pushpanjali to the gods, we worship the gods, and then we start our a performance, whether it's a music performance or a dance performance. And we don't really walk on stage with shoes on because we have reverence for these gods. We light a lamp, we put Pushpanjalis, offering flowers, and then we perform. Because the stage is revered, the god on stage is revered. Nataraja is the god of dance, as you know. Lord Jagannath is worshipped by Odissi dancers. I can go on and on. But I'm not coming to that particular part of the debate because I have been in this field for 55 years as a practicing classical dancer.
No, due respect to you, ma'am.
I'm a Hindu. I'm a worshipper of Hindu. And let me just finish my point, please, and you can then take over after I do. The point here is I'm also a woman, and I have always spoken up for women's rights to do what they want in life, whether they want to be in culture, they want to be in sporting events, whether they want to be in politics, or whatever they want to be in life. In this particular event, women are mandated to wear that costume that they're wearing, the dress code, because it is a bodybuilding event and they have to display their muscles. So there's nothing wrong in women doing what they did, and to use women as pawns, to use women to play your own political game, your own little political game, and say that these women have defiled the stage space and therefore we're going to purify that stage space through Ganga Jal, to me is obnoxious. Absolutely. And ridiculous. Okay. To that extent, you agree with Dr. Sunita Ganga Jal. Of course, we all respect Ganga Jal.
But let me bring her in. Yes, let me bring her in. Dr. Sunita Ganga,
the only reason, one more point, Madhav.
Yeah. Okay. 10, 15 seconds. Quickly, please. We have to go across to others as well. Yeah.
in 50 seconds, I'll just tell you why I said that the Hanuman cutout need not be on stage. I said it's my personal opinion, because people should not walk on the same stage in front of our deities with shoes and chappals on. That's the only reason.
Very interesting. Very interesting. You have a completely different point of view from all of our other panelists, and that's why I'm going to get in Dr. Sunita Godara on that. Dr. Sunita Godara, while she feels that's reprehensible that Ganga Jal was used, while she feels that politicians are misusing this for their political purposes, here is somebody who's a classical dancer saying that on the stage, perhaps, given the fact that worship could not have taken place, as the respect to the deity that one of the other panelists was referring to could not have been done. It should not have been there. That's her personal view. Do you agree with her? Do you disagree with her? Dr. Sunita Godara. Yeah.
First of all, she is a dancer. They may be having different rules. In sports, we always wear shoes and we go everywhere. And why we can't stop power lifters or wrestlers or bodybuilders if they are worshipping Lord Hanuman. Because it's a symbol of power, it's a symbol of strength. So this is very wrong. First of all, on the eve of International Women's Day, where the international theme is embrace equity, why they are cleaning that place with Gangajal? This is degrading and demoralizing women, Lord Hanuman did not say ki saaf kar do zameen ko, because they were female doing their bodybuilding show, and ladies coming, means women are degrading women. That is very bad. They have to change their mindset, all people who are opposing or who are criticizing this bodybuilding show or having cutout of Lord Hanuman there, they have to change their mindset. This is a sports, and sports all sports have their own rules, all dress codes. So we follow that.
We're completely out of time. It's been a very engaging discussion, multiple points of view, very different points of view from I thought what would be coming from different guests of ours. But on that note, we'll have to leave it there. Dr. Sunita Godara, Dr. Sunil Dabas, Kasturi Shankar, Pratibha Prahlad, Dr. Suman Siraman and Anurag Bhadoria and Dushan Nagar. Thank you so much for joining us on debate number 1 on the Newshour this evening. And after Bharat bashing Rahul Gandhi is raining fire on the Sangh Parivar, comparing the organisation to the Muslim Brotherhood. At a discussion in London, the Congress leader called the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh a secret society that was built to subvert the democratic processes.
The nature of the democratic contest in India has completely changed. And the reason it's changed is because one organisation called the RSS, fundamentalist fascist organization, has basically captured pretty much all of India's institutions. RSS is you can call it a secret society. It's built along the lines of the Muslim Brotherhood, and the idea is to use the democratic contest to come to power and then subvert the democratic contest afterwards.
The BJP hit out at Rahul Gandhi demanding his apology for drawing parallels between the RSS and the banned extremist terrorist organization.
देखिए, मुस्लिम ब्रदरहुड 1928 में बनी और आरएसएस 1925 में बनी. वो भी धर्म की राजनीति करते हैं, आरएसएस भी धर्म की राजनीति करती है. वहाँ पे इजिप्ट के अंदर उनके पास एक बार ताकत आ गई थी, आरएसएस के पास भी एक बार ताकत आ गई है. तो बहुत सारी चीजें मिलती जुलती हैं, इसलिए राहुल गांधी ने ये बात कही है.
कभी आपने देखा है उन्होंने कितना कोरोना में काम किया? आदिवासियों के बीच में क्या काम किया है? नॉर्थ ईस्ट में क्या काम किया है? राहुल गांधी कभी आपने जानने की कोशिश की है शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में क्या काम किया है? तो कभी संघ को समझिए और इस तरह के बेशर्मी भरे बयान देना बंद करिए.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Our guests now, Dr. Annamalai and Dushan Nagar, continue to be with us. Joining us now are Aparajita Sarangi, MP and National Spokesperson of the BJP, and first and foremost want to go across to Professor D.K. Giri, political analyst. Professor D.K. Giri, the RSS said it's a bad comparison. Here is an organization that has been accused of terror links. That is the Muslim Brotherhood. It is spread across different countries, has even contested elections, come to power, etc. The RSS does none of that, they say, and therefore it is very unfortunate that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has drawn a comparison which is not factual in nature. Your response, Mr. Giri?
Well, that's a matter of perspective. What do you expect from Rahul Gandhi? He is a leader of opposition. I mean, he would even compare RSS with Nazis. So that is his understanding. And if you ask me whether RSS and Muslim Brotherhood are comparable, I would draw my own inferences. But there are similarities, there are dissimilarities. Many organizations at some point converge in their methodologies. So, this is a matter of discussion. But, Rahul Gandhi would not praise RSS. You see, so you cannot grudge it. The BJP spokesperson
not praising someone and being factually incorrect are two different things.
But you do
Would you
that.
agree? Professor D.K. Giri, as a responsible leader, one at least should be factual in nature.
No.
One can have an opinion, there's no two ways about it, but at least be a little responsible when a comparison is made.
See, political, let me tell you, I'm a professor of politics. Political debates are based on perspectives and your understanding, not on empiricism. And his understanding is if RSS is a majoritarian tyranny like Muslim Brotherhood, he is entitled to do that.
Okay.
So, they are not factual. You cannot say what he is saying is
perspectives. He has merely shared his perspective. It is not about empiricism. Sure. Facts be damned. Your response.
A very good evening. Rahul Gandhi is entitled to his own opinion about anything on this planet. But when he goes to the foreign soil, I think he should be more responsible and he should conform to the unwritten standards of conduct. He went to London, he went to Cambridge University and he talked against the government of India. He talked against the democratic form of government here. He sought the support of Europe and America towards restoration of democracy in India, and at the end he also talked against RSS. Now my only question to Rahul Gandhi is whether he knows the full form of RSS. RSS has been in the country since 1925 and has been into nation building activities. Everywhere, wherever there has been famine, wherever there has been drought, in the field of education, in the field of health, I think they have done commendable job all through. And in the recent past, during COVID, thousands of RSS karmis all over the country have rendered tremendous support to the government.
Okay.
So I think whatever the statements of Rahul Gandhi, they smack of ignorance. And it's very unfortunate that he would be speaking like that on foreign soil and tarnishing the image of all of us. Now, a couple of words and expressions come to my mind. Puerile, immature, irresponsible and far from the truth.
Okay.
I think these are the words and expressions that come to my mind when I think of Rahul Gandhi.
Let me bring that
across. Rahul Gandhi should better have his facts right. He should have more convincing arguments and his facts right.
I want Dushyan Nagar to respond to that. Dushyan Nagar, RSS की जो ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है समाज सेवा में कोविड के दौरान और जो कार्य किए गए, ऐसी संस्था की आप तुलना कर रहे हैं एक टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से, एंड दिस इज कंप्लीटली इनअप्रोप्रिएट, इट इज इनकरेक्ट सेज द बीजेपी. क्या जवाब देंगे आप?
देखिए जी 1942 भारत छोड़ो आंदोलन से लगा के आज तक अगर पूरे एक कालक्रम के ऊपर हम आगे एक नज़र डालें तो आरएसएस के ऊपर बहुत सारे प्रश्न चिन्ह लगते हैं और बहुत सारे सवाल ऐसे हैं जो आरएसएस की तरफ उठते हैं, उनके वो जवाब नहीं दे पाते. 1942 में ही हम देखें तो जहां कांग्रेस भारत छोड़ो आंदोलन और अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ लड़ रही थी, ऐसा कहते हैं आरएसएस के लोग अंग्रेजों की सेना में भर्ती के लिए अभियान चला रहे थे. उसके अलावा भी देखिए आज इतना 100 वर्ष का कालखंड होने जा रहा है. आरएसएस में जो टॉप 5 की है, टॉप 3 की है, टॉप 10 की लीडरशिप है, कोई दलित, पिछड़ा, आदिवासी आज तक नहीं आ पाया. क्या कारण है? आप एक ही वर्ग के लोग हैं. देश में इतना बड़ा निजीकरण चल रहा है, बड़ी बड़ी सरकारी कंपनियों को निजी हाथों में दिया जा रहा है. आरएसएस चुप है. जनगणना, जातिवार जनगणना लोग कराना चाहते हैं, बड़ा वर्ग है भारत का जो मांग कर रहा है, आरएसएस उसके ऊपर चुप है. आरएसएस से जुड़े हुए कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जो आरक्षण के खिलाफ बात करते हैं. तो देखिए कहीं ना कहीं सवाल ये उठते हैं और इनका जवाब आपको देना पड़ेगा. और जवाब ही नहीं देना पड़ेगा, आपको ये दिखाना पड़ेगा कि आरएसएस का नंबर 2 लीडर एक पिछड़ा है, आरएसएस का नंबर 1 लीडर एक दलित है. हम वो देखना चाहते हैं, जब ही हमें भरोसा होगा.
Okay. Identity politics needs to be replicated in the RSS. That's the last of the claim, but many questions coming in. Dr. Anand Raghunathan, your response to Dushyan Nagar.
Madhav, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress have not just an illogical but also a pathological hatred for the RSS, so much so that they attribute everything evil that has ever happened in this country to the RSS. No other opposition party or leader, with the exception perhaps of Kerala's Muslim League, hates the RSS so much. And guess who is the alliance partner of the Muslim League? Congress. Look, Rahul routinely claims that no one from the RSS took part in freedom struggle. I guess he graduated from WhatsApp University. He doesn't know the legendary names like Dada Naik Chimur, Ramdas Rampure, Sant Tugdoji Maharaj, Hemu Kelani, who gave up their lives. They were from the RSS for the freedom movement. And as for my good friend Dushyantji saying about Quit India movement RSS, does he know that one of the biggest opposer of Quit India movement was Dr. Ambedkar? It is insane. It reflects brinksman of statesmanship. He said Gandhi is the prophet of dark age. Let Dushyantji say all those same things he said about
the lie that RSS killed Mahatma Gandhi, to Congress leaders propagating the theory that 2611 was RSS scholar. There is no opportunity the Congress has missed to slander the RSS. But Madhav, just 30 seconds, what takes the cake is the following instance. Just give me 30 seconds. Justice Yashwant Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India and the father of the current Chief Justice, recommended not once but twice the name of one certain Justice Chandurkar of the Bombay and the Madras High Court.
Right.
But it was rejected both times by the Congress. You know why? Because Chandurkar had made the fatal mistake of attending the funeral of RSS chief Golwalkar. I quote Yashwant Chandrachud here, quote, "The government and Indira Gandhi were looking for judicial candidates who would support it in general. It is preposterous what they did to Chandurkar." How do we know this? Because of a splendid book called Supreme Whispers, written by Abhinav Chandrachud, Dhananjay's son. Finally, by comparing RSS with a blatantly quasi-terrorist Islamic organization, Rahul has insulted the Indian ethos itself. 507,656 RSS volunteers set up COVID relief camps at 922,656 locations, distributing 46.63 million food packets, opening 483 treatment centers during the first COVID wave. It was much the same in the second COVID wave. Health giver and health seeker neither give nor seek ideology, only help.
Okay, quick response. Dushant wants to respond to you. We are almost out of time. Quick response, Dushant Nagar.
मैं कहना चाहता हूं माधव, सुन लीजिए, आजादी से पूर्व में बंगाल में किसने सरकार बनाई थी? फजरुल हक के साथ में ये जवाब भी देना चाहिए। आपने कह दिया कांग्रेस का अलायंस मुस्लिम लीग के साथ है, लेकिन अलायंस आजादी से पूर्व में ही आरएसएस से जुड़े लोगों का कांग्रेस को हराने के लिए मुस्लिम लीग के साथ रहा है, उसकी गवाह है।
We are completely out of time. Sorry, Dushant Nagar, I'm interrupting you. I'd like to thank you as well as Aprajita Sarangi, Dr. Anand Ragnathan, Professor D.K. Giri. Completely out of time on this debate. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे। अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स। ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा। Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. Guys, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है। जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है। जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे, बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा। इनसाइड द बॉक्स यू गेट दिस लिटिल पेपर बॉक्स एज वेल, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है। लाइक आई सेड, वही मिला है हमको। यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है। यहाँ पर फोन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको मिलता है ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस, और साथ में सिम इजेक्टर टूल, विच इज वेरी बेसिक। अब मुझे बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है हमारा डिवाइस, जिसके बारे में ये वीडियो बना रहे हैं। उफ, वेरी वाइब्रेंट एंड पेपी येलो कलर। Just like the box, the smartphone also boasts the combination of black, or call it dark grey, along with yellow. और कॉम्प्लीमेंटिंग डिजाइन आपको फ्रेम्स पर भी दिखेगा। जो कलर आपको यहाँ कैमरा मॉड्यूल पर दिख रहा है, पीछे ये जो पैच पर दिख रहा है, वही आपको उसी कलर का फ्रेम दिखाई देगा विद येलो एक्सेंट्स। वेट की बात करें तो अच्छा है, लाइट वेट है, और यहाँ पे जो येलो है दिस इज लिटिल बिट डल, नॉट एज वाइब्रेंट एज द बॉक्स और प्रॉपर येलो। वैसे तो मैट फिनिशिंग है, लेकिन ये जो कलर है इसके अंदर हल्का सा ग्लिटर आपको दिखाई देता है। फ्लैशी नहीं है, अच्छा है। इसको साइड में रखते हैं, अभी ऑन भी करेंगे और उसके बाद स्मार्टफोन के बारे में बात करेंगे। पहले देखते हैं और क्या आपको बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई देगा। यू ऑल्सो गेट अ 67 वॉट चार्जिंग ब्रिक। आई रियली लाइक हाउ दे हैव रिटन 67 वॉट हियर। बहुत ही बढ़िया फॉन्ट लग रहा है, कुछ डिफरेंट देखने को मिला, वरना ज्यादातर यहाँ पर नॉर्मली लिख देते हैं 67 और 80। तो ये जो इसने हल्का सा छोटा सा अटेम्प्ट किया है विद द डिजाइन, आई रियली लाइक। साथ में आपको मिलता है टाइप सी केबल विद ऑरेंज एक्सेंट्स, जैसे कि आप यहाँ देख पा रहे होंगे। इसको भी साइड में रखते हैं एंड दैट्स इट, दैट्स ऑल यू गेट इनसाइड द बॉक्स। अब बात करते हैं स्मार्टफोन के बारे में, जरा मुझे इसे ऑन करने दीजिए। फोन को यहाँ पर सेटअप करना मैंने शुरू कर दिया है। जैसे कि आप देख पाएंगे दिस फोन रन्स ऑन MIUI 14। साथ इसको हम सेट करते रहेंगे और फोन के बारे में बात करते रहेंगे, बिकॉज यही तो सबसे ज्यादा बढ़िया पॉइंट होता है जब भी आप नया फोन सेटअप करते हैं, द फीलिंग ऑफ सेटिंग अप एंड शिफ्टिंग टू अ न्यू स्मार्टफोन। तो यहाँ पर इसको सेटअप कर रहे हैं। टिल द टाइम लेट मी टॉक अबाउट द डिस्प्ले। तो यहाँ पर आपको विद पोको X5 Pro मिलता है AMOLED डिस्प्ले विद द सपोर्ट ऑफ 120 Hz रिफ्रेश रेट। बेसिकली स्क्रोलिंग एनिमेशन शुड बी स्मूदर, क्योंकि 120 Hz अब ज्यादातर फोन्स पे स्टैंडर्ड भी हो गया है। देयर वाज अ टाइम व्हेन 90 Hz यूज्ड टू बी द स्टैंडर्ड रिफ्रेश रेट, बट 120 अब ज्यादातर फोन्स पे आपको दिखाई देगा। इसके अलावा दिस डिस्प्ले इज प्रोटेक्टेड विद कॉर्निंग गोरिल्ला ग्लास 5, तो आपको इतना टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है कि डिस्प्ले को कुछ हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा। द फोन इज ऑल्सो ऑफरिंग IP53 रेटिंग टू प्रिवेंट ऑल दी डस्ट एज वेल एज वाटर स्प्लैशेस। यहाँ पर और जैसे कि डिस्प्ले पे आपको दिख रहा होगा, बेजल्स आर प्रिटी थिन। इनफैक्ट यहाँ पर चारों साइड पे मुझे सेम बेजल्स दिखाई दे रहे हैं।
You're watching the News Hour at 9.
Times Now News Break Impact. Gehlot acts after Rajnath Singh dials Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. Rajasthan government accepts Veer Nari's demands. CBI grills Lalu Prasad Yadav in the Land for Job scam. Rohini Acharya, who had donated her kidney to her father, hits out at the centre, accusing it of harassing the ailing elderly man. Enforcement Directorate questions former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in Tihar jail in the Delhi excise policy case.
You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
mm एक्स्ट्रा, लंबा व्हील बेस, सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा जगह। यह है कहानी BMW 3GL की। नमस्ते टाइम्स ड्राइव फैमिली, आई एम क्रांति संभव। वेलकम टू द फर्स्ट ड्राइव रिव्यू ऑफ BMW 3 सीरीज GL यानी ग्रैंड लिमोजीन, जो ऑब्वियसली रेगुलर 3 सीरीज से ज्यादा लंबी है व्हील बेस के हिसाब से। कुछ एक चेंजेस इसमें हुए हैं, तो इस वजह से ये हम वीडियो कर रहे हैं उन चेंजेस के बारे में बताने के लिए, और ये भी जानने के लिए कि जो दावा है कंपनी का सेकेंड रो में ज्यादा आराम का, ज्यादा स्पेस का, वो दावा पूरा हो पा रहा है या नहीं। सो बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस कार, सबसे पहले टाइम्स ड्राइव के बारे में आपसे बात करता हूं या अपील करता हूं। अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल को, और सोशल मीडिया पर बाकी जो भी हैंडल्स हैं वहां पर टाइम्स ड्राइव के नाम से आप सर्च करें, उसे भी फॉलो करें। लेटेस्ट खबरें आपको मिलेंगी, और timesdrive.in है हमारा वेबसाइट, वहां पर तो लेटेस्ट खबरों के अलावा डिस्काउंट्स और जो स्पाई पिक्स हैं, आने वाली गाड़ियां हैं, उन सब के बारे में खबरें मिलेंगी। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस स्टोरी। हम बात करते हैं BMW 3GL की। क्रांति संभव रिपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेकंड रो ऑफ BMW 3GL। आमतौर पर ये वाला हिस्सा स्टोरी में बाद में आता है, लेकिन जब यूएसपी यही है तो फिर व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट द स्टोरी विद दिस। और यहाँ पे सबसे पहली चीज जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ उसमें कुछ बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। आई एम 6'3", बावजूद इसके लेग रूम नी रूम आप देख सकते हैं कितनी ज्यादा मुझे यहाँ पर मिल रही है, यानी बहुत ज्यादा आराम।
Good evening and welcome. You are watching the Newshour Agenda. I am Padmaja Joshi. In his latest during the UK tour that he's undertaken, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi declared the RSS a secret society that was built to subvert democratic processes. Not only that, he also expressed his fear that the RSS has captured all of India's institutions, the press, the judiciary, parliament and the election commission. And this, he said, is the reason why he was constrained to undertake the Bharat Jodo Yatra. The part though that has created the maximum outrage in India is the one where he said that the RSS is like the Muslim Brotherhood. Before we start our debate, let's quickly listen in to Mr. Gandhi.
The nature of the democratic contest in India has completely changed, and the reason it's changed is because one organization called the RSS, fundamentalist fascist organization, has basically captured pretty much all of India's institutions. You can call it a secret society. It's built along the lines of the Muslim Brotherhood, and the idea is to use the democratic contest to come to power and then subvert the democratic contest afterwards.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the debate, Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Pankaj Sharma, political analyst, Advocate Kapil Madan, political analyst. But I want to start first with our former Foreign Secretary, Mr. Kamal Sibal. What do you make, sir, of the comparison between the secret societies of the RSS and the Muslim Brotherhood?
Well, the Muslim Brotherhood has a long history, as you know. It has a particular agenda, very Islamic agenda. It wants Islamic countries to be built on the precepts of the Quran and the Sharia and the Hadith. It has a very violent past. It has been banned in many countries, including in the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, UAE, of course, Russia, and many other countries for its terrorist links. And those terrorist links are real. Now, as you know, in Egypt, they gained power after Mubarak's ouster because the Arab Spring gave them a chance to come into the democratic process. And then they tried to Islamize Egypt. And there was a strong ground reaction, people's public reaction against it. And there was a great deal of agitation which forced the military to come in. Qatar is a very big supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood. So is Erdogan's Turkey. As I said, it has a pan-Islamist agenda with jihadist links. Now, compare the RSS with the Muslim Brotherhood is totally inapposite. After all, RSS is not a pan-Hindu organization which spans many countries. It is not engaged in political assassinations. It doesn't have any terrorist links. It is not a secret society. The leaders of RSS are very much visible. They speak publicly. The organization is known. And now the BJP has been in power for the last 8 years or so. One cannot see any subversion of democracy because of the links between the BJP and the RSS in the manner in which Rahul Gandhi is speaking. Yes, they have this narrative that there's backsliding of democracy in India, and this narrative is being supported from outside. And it's a pity that Rahul Gandhi, and I don't want to get into party politics, that's not my intent. But I think it's fundamentally wrong for a political leader who has a certain amount of standing in the country and his party is standing to badmouth India in this fashion abroad, because it hurts the image of India and India as a whole, because it makes people think that when a person like this is speaking about India, there may be some truth in this.
Okay,
and
so let's just start with the Muslim Brotherhood comparison. Where does it hold, Kapil Madan? Or is it only because it sounds good when you say the words Muslim Brotherhood, fascist organization, secret society?
So Padmaja ji, I will talk only crude facts here. I would like to draw your viewers' attention to an affidavit filed by a former RSS worker, namely Shinde, wherein he allegedly and he categorically on affidavit made an allegation that in RSS there are people who are being trained in bomb making and spreading radicalization. He on affidavit makes that kind of a statement. Now I will leave your views to draw a conclusion when a former RSS worker himself on affidavit in the court process is making these kind of allegations. Now what do you draw out of such kind of allegation? What conclusion you can draw from such kind of allegation? And I will leave that to the discretion of the viewers. Let the viewers decide. And let me hope, while the BJP has made a statue of unity, and I would like to quote a statement made by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel while banning the RSS back in 1948. The reasoning that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel gave was to root out the forces of hate and violence that are at work in our country and imperil the freedom of the nation and darken its fame. So these were the words used by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
I was hoping that you would end by saying that the same Sardar Patel also lifted the ban on the RSS, but answer the bit about the affidavit where an RSS man said that they are trained in terror activities, hence the apples to apples comparison to Muslim Brotherhood, Shehzad Poonawala.
He's quoted an alleged member of the RSS and said draw a conclusion out of the affidavit of that alleged member. So draw a conclusion out of the most important member of the Congress party visiting the headquarters of the RSS. This is Pranab Mukherjee ji, the former president of India, visiting the headquarters of the RSS. So I would suggest to the viewers that they can draw their own conclusion, and also they should draw a conclusion about how this is not just illogical, but as Anand Ranganathan would put it, pathological hatred, to the extent that today Rahul Gandhi has dumped the views of Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar ji, JP Narayan on the RSS, who have all praised the RSS. And let me explain to you, this is not just immature, it's also sinister, because there is a trend in the Congress party to underplay the Islamist jihadist angle. Today they are not trying to besmirch just RSS's reputation, they are trying to whitewash the crimes of Islamist jihad. When you compare a Muslim Brotherhood to an RSS which runs schools, which functions in the public domain, they've done this even before. You remember 2611 was blamed on whom? Not on Ajmal Kasab or Pakistan, but on the RSS. Now let me come to the larger point that I want to make, and I'm sure Kapil Madan will understand when I say Parspar Virodhe tu Vayam Panchashate Shatam Paraistu Vigrahe Prapte Vayam Panchadik Shatam, which means that when the Pandavas fight the Kauravas, we may be 5 versus 100, but when we fight an external threat, we are 105. That has always been the touchstone of democracy in this country, that we do not want external interference in ours. But you know what Rahul Gandhi says? Rahul Gandhi says, I am offended that the great protectors of democracy, by the way, he doesn't consider India to be the mother of democracy, he considers them to be protectors of democracy. He says that why aren't they intervening when democratic structures are failing in this country?
Okay, but to be fair at Chatham House, he went back on that and he said that listen, this is our internal issue. I don't want your interference. I want you to be aware.
And the reason why I don't buy that argument is because when he was having a tete-a-tete with Mr. Nicholas Burns, he pretty much told the United States, there's one Prime Minister who goes with a katora saying chanda de do, and this guy goes saying power de do to all these Western powers, saying that interfere in our democracy. And by the way, Manishankar Iyer, he went to Pakistan and pretty much said, okay, please.
We'll leave aside the intervention for just a second, because I want to focus a little bit on the RSS, because some very serious charges have been made against the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Now, here is an organization that is very clear on what their organizational setup is, who is their Sar Sanchalak, who is their Prachar Pramukh. Everything is clear, so I don't know what is secret about the society, first of all. Second, and I want to ask you this, Mr. Pankaj Sharma, because I found it very interesting that Mr. Gandhi specifically said the RSS has subverted all the institutions. Can you give me an example of how? He named 4 institutions. He said that it has subverted the judiciary, the executive, the media and the legislature. So can you tell us how has the judiciary for one been subverted by the RSS?
Padmaja, can I take...
Just a second, sir. Let Mr. Sharma also come in. Yes. Mr. Pankaj Sharma, please give one example of how the judiciary has been subverted by the RSS.
in all the institutions, pro-RSS, strong RSS, staunch RSS supporters are sitting. They have been.
Okay, we seem to have the line frozen with Mr. Sharma. Would you like to take that question, Kapil Madan? One example of how the judiciary has been subverted by the RSS.
Yes. No, I will, first answer your question, and I will also answer what my, learned panel.
No, we will not go into external interference.
No, that's all right.
It is done and debated. Please stick to the RSS and how it has subverted.
Now, let me just go, I would like to, draw your viewers' attention. When the Pegasus controversy happened, in the Pegasus controversy, you had Supreme Court officials on the list.
I do not want to keep reinventing the wheel. Let's stick to the topic, please. Let's stick to the topic. My topic is very...
I am answering your point.
Answer, yes.
I'm answering your point.
Go on.
Now, the fact when the allegations have been made that, they're trying to subvert the process, they're, trying to put pressure on these kind of, organization and independent institution. I mean, why would you have, a spy software on someone who works in the Supreme Court judiciary? Why would you have a spy software, called Pegasus on, several media houses?
But sir, we have debated how the Supreme Court appointed committee did not find any evidence of Pegasus. In its report it said some of those 29 phones have malware, but there is no evidence of Pegasus, number one. Number two, can you tell me again, you are not answering my question. Please answer the question. I believe Mr. Sharma is back with us. Pankaj Sharma, can you give me one example of how the judiciary has been subverted by the RSS, specifically the RSS? Let's name names.
His voice has been subverted.
RSS is not sitting. Everyone knows this, how these appointments were made. So Rahul Gandhi's comparison of RSS with Muslim Brotherhood has substance. Where is he wrong if he says RSS built on the line?
Which judge? Sir, I am sorry, I am going to distance myself from your comments because you are saying judges are appointed by the RSS. Please name names and be responsible for your comments.
No, don't put words in my mouth. I am saying that in all the premier institutions, staunch pro-RSS people have been given positions in last 9-10 years.
Like who?
Is what I am saying.
Like who?
There is a pattern of promotions by which RSS, pro-RSS will be taking over all the institutions.
Like who, sir? Name names. If you are talking about subversion, I am assuming that all of our chief justices in the last 9 years would all be attending RSS Shakha every morning before they set out for court. So maybe you can name one. Since subversion, total subversion has taken place, name one.
So total subversion of all the democratic institutions in the country.
But sir, these are generalities. Give me a specific example. It is easy to say. I can say that, in my experience or in my opinion that, the sky is now black. But that is my opinion. Fact doesn't bear it out. Give me one example.
It is not an opinion. There is a substance in this.
Okay, I don't know what substance because you have failed to provide that substance to me over the last 5 minutes. However, let me give you an example before you respond, Shehzad Poonawala. The one person who was actually vilified as being an RSS stooge was Justice S.A. Bobde. Soon after he resigned, he went to meet Mohan Bhagwat in 2021. What people fail to mention though is that before he retired, on the farm laws, he slammed the Modi government. Justice Bobde's bench is the one which took suo moto cognizance of the oxygen distribution during the COVID crisis. Justice Bobde is also the one which asked the Modi government, why are you hesitant to put the farm laws on hold? So I still do not have an answer to who is the person who is subservient to the RSS in our judiciary. Shehzad Poonawala respond, but there are appointments, says Mr. Sharma.
Let me give you an example of a very interesting appointment from the books of history because Mr. Sibbal is also here. Baharul Islam, Congress MP in 1962, loses the election, then is made a High Court judge, then he retires, and after retirement he's made a Supreme Court judge, then he resigns and then contests on the ticket of the Congress party. I can even tell you about Justice Beg, I can tell you about Justice A.N. Ray, of course, who was allowed to supersede Justice Khanna. I can even tell you about Justice Rangnath Mishra, but let's not get into that domain. I just have a simple question of my friend Mr. Pankaj Sharma. Pankaj ji, since all the institutions have been captured by the RSS, would you then categorize as the current Chief Justice of India, the very Honorable Justice Chandrachud, as a product of this subversion of RSS? Yes or no?
Mr. Sharma. Specific question.
Specific question. Pankaj ji, since all the institutions have been captured by the RSS, would you then categorize as the current Chief Justice of India, the very Honorable Justice Chandrachud, as a product of this subversion of RSS? Yes or no? Mr. Sharma.
What is the specific question? How can you
One second. Your leader, our honorable opposition MP, says that all institutions, and the institution is headed by the Chief Justice of India, have been subverted by the RSS. I am willing to play along for a moment. And therefore I ask you, Mr. Sharma, let me re-articulate. Let me re-articulate, because you're Congress party, I have to re-articulate. Now I am asking you, is the head of this organization which has been subverted by the RSS, namely Mr. Chief Justice of India, Dhananjay Chandrachud, is he a product of the subversion of the RSS? Yes or no?
Subversion doesn't mean that the head of the institution is pro RSS.
बाकी सब subverted है, ठीक है.
Subversion
बाकी
is
सब subverted है. बाकी जजेस सब subverted. Give me one to name. चलो एक
staunch RSS supporters have been appointed. Have been positioned.
Appointed.
You know it.
You do know that judges appoint judges, right?
You also know it.
शर्मा जी,
know it
आपको
well.
पता है ना कि जज ही जज को अपॉइंट करता है और उसका हेड ये चंद्रचूड़ जी ही है अभी फिलहाल इस कॉलेजियम में.
अभी है ना, अभी है.
अच्छा अच्छा. और ये कैसे आ गया अगर ये आरएसएस के प्रोडक्ट नहीं है? मतलब हम इतने लिबरल है, सबवर्जन कर रहे हैं, परंतु चंद्रचूड़ जी जो आरएसएस के नहीं है उनको हमने बना दिया. वाह भाई, ये लॉजिक तो राहुल गांधी के भी लॉजिक से अव्वल दर्जे का है. देखिए शर्मा जी, ऐसा है जब जुडिशरी मेरे फेवर में ऑर्डर दे दे तो सब ठीक, और ना दे तो सब खराब. इलेक्शन में जीत जाऊं हिमाचल में तब तो ठीक, अगर मैं हार जाऊं तो ईसी खराब. ये कंडीशनल कमिटमेंट टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बारे में अंबेडकर जी ने नहीं बताया था. आप राहुल जी को कन्वे करना, आप उनके दोस्त हैं, मित्र हैं, उनको बताना जरूर.
Okay, let me bring back Advocate Kapil Madan on this. Kapil Madan, again talking about the Muslim Brotherhood. You had the former Foreign Secretary talk about how the Islamist agenda of the Muslim Brotherhood is amply clear and it has been called out by Islamic countries. And yet it is compared to an RSS which has a Rashtriya Muslim Manch. Now, I may be completely wrong, but last I read, I do not think there is a Hindu Manch being run by the Muslim Brotherhood anywhere in the world.
Well, Padmaja ji, I would just like to make a very, reserved comment here. Radicalization in any form, in any manner, in any religion that promotes any kind of polarization, violence needs to be condemned. And, be it any religion. I mean, across religion, if there is any wing, any individual in any particular religion,
but sir, you are making a false equivalence here, which is more dangerous. To compare the Muslim Brotherhood to RSS is as dangerous as the coinage of Hindutva terror to try and downplay the very real Islamic terror that exists and which very lately has been called out by the UK, not by the RSS, not by the BJP, unless you think that the UK has also been subverted by the RSS.
Padmaja, all I want to say here, I would just like to reiterate the affidavit made by a former RSS worker. On affidavit in court, he makes an allegation. Now, what do you draw out of that allegation? Now, you want to, rule. I will answer. I get my, friend Shehzad here. He wants to show a photograph. I will ask the question to Shehzad.
He was a member of the Congress. He happened to be the president of this country. He visited the RSS headquarters. Draw conclusions, sir. Let's draw conclusions.
Yes.
I want you to draw the conclusion from this picture.
So, Shehzad. Now, can you...
Was Mr. Mukherjee subverted by the RSS?
Shehzad, अपने viewers को ये भी बता दो, ये photograph affidavit से पहले की है या बाद की है? I challenge you want to laugh. You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer.
And he was the head of the maximum committee. He was the head of the maximum committees, the most trusted person at the time that Dr. Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister. Anyhow, even if there is the belief that all institutions stand completely subverted, there is one person in our country who can never be subverted, and that is the Indian voter, unless we are going to put down his and her choices also to the subversion of the EVM. You just need to hear the sound and the voice of the electorate at the end of the day. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks very much all gentlemen for having joined me. Hope all of you have a great Holi. Well, amid claims of alleged attacks on migrant labourers from Bihar and fears of a mass exodus of workers, pressure is building on the Tamil Nadu government, both from the business and the political community. In order to allay apprehensions, the Chief Minister today went out an extra step to reach out, interacting with workers at a latex unit in Tirunelveli. MK Stalin assured the workers of their safety in the state. However, what was strange is that almost simultaneously, a pro-DMK outfit was seen undoing the damage control efforts. How? Because the Periyar Dravidar Kadagam blamed North Indians for taking away jobs meant for people of Tamil Nadu. They staged a protest outside of the central government offices, leading to the question, what really is the messaging that is being done by the state? All right, joining us now on the Newshour agenda is the chief of the BJP in Tamil Nadu, Mr. Annamalai. Thanks very much for speaking to us. First up, do you think that you will be arrested? Is there a fear now that a case that has been filed against you?
Madam, in Tamil Nadu politics, when the politics is against the DMK, one day or the other you will be arrested. It's only a matter of time. Not this case, maybe some other case. There are 87 FIRs against me and 86 prior to it. 87th is the new FIR they have booked. So we don't fear anything else. I should not have come into politics only. That in a state like Tamil Nadu, supporting Modi ji and being with BJP, opposing DMK, they will do everything in their book. But the question is, why did they file the case? That is more very interesting and amusing for me. They have taken up some statement which they have given against the government for inciting hatred in Tamil Nadu. Over the last 70 years, DMK ministers, DMK MLAs, including the chief minister, speaking very bad about North Indian friends, calling them Pani Puri Wala. I have quoted clearly what did they speak, when did they speak, why did they speak. Now the affair is against me because they said I have misquoted the DMK leaders. Thereby I am trying to create some trouble within Tamil Nadu, so they have booked an FIR. That's why I have challenged. When you have booked an FIR, please complete the process by arresting me also. I am giving you 24 hours, please arrest me. We'll wait and see what the government is going to do, madam.
But their argument is that the statement that you tweeted, they were not made in the current context. They have been made earlier. So for you to reiterate them right now is only going to vitiate the atmosphere.
Madam, we have to understand right now the national media and across India we are discussing, but when an education minister in the stage, when he spoke about North Indian or Pani Puri Walas, I think the fear was created then, not now. When Dayanidhi Maranji, who is our MP and a cousin of the chief minister also, when he spoke, look what the North Indians are, they are just doing coolie work in our work, they are just our housemates and housekeepers. Do you want to be like that? When he made that statement, the fear was created then only. And I am not talking about some opposition parties talking. Of course, there are more atrocious speeches than this, where a lot of people who are not part of the government, they have spoken much worse than this. So I have taken only people in the government holding a constitutional position, taking oath, and thereby who are supposed to serve the people. What they have spoken in the last 1 year, 2 years, I have only tweeted that video, which I believe is the primary duty of a person like me sitting in BJP to do that, because you have created a fear over the last 24 months, over the last 70 years as a DMK policy. Now the chickens have come home to roost. Fake videos getting circulated, some fake fellows are talking something in the social media, which is making people in North India to believe in Tamil Nadu this would have happened because there is a conducive atmosphere for this to happen. So I haven't spoken anything out of context, madam.
You've put out his statement. There's also this t-shirt that Udayanidhi Stalin wore that, the BJP is speaking about. But the DMK says this is about Hindi imposition. The t-shirt that he wore, it's not about denigrating Hindi speakers.
Madam, if you look at the whole video and context, as I have told you, I have spoken about the education minister, Pani Puri Walas. In fact, they have used much worse words also. The national television channel, I don't think it will be appropriate for me to quote some DMK MP and MLA speaking some things. They have called illiterates, Gaumudra Walas, all those kind of statements. The ministers who have taken oath have spoken. Now, for Udayanidhi Stalin and others to go on the back foot now and say, no, we are against Hindi imposition. We have to understand, madam, if they are against Hindi imposition, they should accuse the Congress for imposing Hindi in 1965 in different education policies, not the central government, which has made Hindi as an optional or any regional language as an optional language to study as a third language in NEP. But the problem is the DMK leaders are not educated. They are not well versed with what is happening in India. They don't read books also, they don't read papers also. They live in a very Maya world, which is 1970 world, and then they keep uttering. So in a way, I feel happy. The DMK, for the first time in their life, they are on the back foot, including Udayanidhi Stalin, including the Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, who has issued a response in Hindi. Would you believe, madam, a DMK party, DMK government, giving a response in Hindi, first time in Tamil Nadu's history, that clearly shows that the artificial north-south divide that was created, artificial things that was spoken, Tamil Nadu people will no more accept. At least now DMK is waking up to the reality that North Indian friends are part and parcel of our culture. They've enriched the Tamil Nadu social fabric. In a way, I'm happy about that much.
But the North-South divide also seems to exist in the way that your party has handled this entire issue. You are saying that, there needs to be sanity, people are not mistreated in Tamil Nadu, but the BJP handle in Bihar, there is a BJP leader from Uttar Pradesh who has now been booked. They made claims which turned out to be fake news. So isn't their responsibility to be pinned on their door as well?
Madam, the DMK's crown prince, the current minister Udayanidhi Stalin made a statement that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji killed Arun Jaitley. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji killed Sushma Swaraj. I am just quoting plainly. If you want, I can put a video today also. This is Udayanidhi Stalin's statement. Prime Minister killed Arun Jaitley. Prime Minister killed Sushma Swaraj. This is atrocious. This is out of context. Then I can quote n number of statements spoken against the government, especially against the Prime Minister, when DMK was in opposition. Starting from MK Stalin in 2011, I can compile a video and put it out, madam. What they have spoken about Prime Minister. Don't you think this is atrocious? Don't you think this is out of context? What Bihar, BJP and others did this. I'm not supporting anybody who have tweeted a video that is out of context. I'm not supporting anybody. But we have to understand, when the Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav was here in Chennai, in a stage with MK Stalin ji, he spoke many things and he went back. So what many people from northern India started asking is, look, in a railway coach in Chennai, North Indian laborers were assaulted. And it is true, we also raised it as an issue. The GRP, the railway police have arrested that culprit, which is true. That video is true, nobody is denying that video. Assault happened inside a railway compartment in Tamil Nadu. After our strong opposition and condemnation, the police have arrested them. So then they started speaking, when this is happening in Tamil Nadu, in the same stage when you are sitting with MK Stalin, why are you not speaking about it? That's how the whole issue started in the last 10 days, madam. It is not, everything will have a trigger point. The trigger point for the whole issue is the assault that happened inside the railway compartment. Then what happened later, once that fear is built up, once people started believing stories, once videos get circulated, I am not condoning anybody. But DMK has to understand that it is the father of fake news. DMK is the father and mother of fake news from 2011. That is how they have orchestrated something against the Honorable PM in 2019 also. Now if Delhi police or anybody has to book an FIR in Tamil Nadu against somebody, it has to be Udayanidhi Stalin for calling PM Modi a murderer, for killing Arun Jaitley ji and Sushma Swaraj, madam. Suddenly, why is DMK talking about values and ethics in politics? Where were they from 2011 to 2021? So what UP or Uttar Bihar or any other leaders from any different parties, whatever they have done, whatever tweet they have put, it is for them to answer, madam. I am not here as anybody's spokesman. So I am giving you a context. 10 days back an incident happened, and that incident is not false, not fake. 10 days later this got amplified because the laborers here started speaking in video calls to them.
Okay.
And many places in Tirupur and all, some political leaders have given very provocative speeches against North Indian laborers. All those things have happened. Suddenly now DMK trying to say that we are the most honest people in Indian politics is only laughable.
So what is the reality? One episode took place inside the railway coach. Other than that, are there North Indian workers who are being mistreated or beaten? Because there are interviews that we have of some of them who've come back to Bihar from Tamil Nadu, and they seem to say that they are being harassed. What's the reality?
Madam, one thing we have to understand, Tamil Makkal by and large across Tamil Nadu, we have always welcomed, there is nothing called outsider and insider in Tamil Nadu, madam, except the political rhetoric. Kaniyan Pugundranath, the great saint, 2000 years back, he said, Yadumure Yavarum Kelir, meaning my birthplace is everywhere, my hometown is everywhere. So that is the spirit with which the Tamil Nadu people live here. And historically, if we see right before independence, after independence, even till now, the Madras presidency, before the 1956 States Reorganization Act came, it stretched as far as till Orissa, here as far as till Maharashtra. The presidency was pretty long, Madras presidency. The 1956 Reorganization Act, Tamil Nadu. So for an outsider perspective, if anybody thinks Tamil Nadu is an insulated state, doesn't welcome outsiders, that is utterly wrong, madam. So always people from different parts of India, they have strengthened the fabric of Tamil Nadu and they have contributed massively to our growth. Of late, what is happening, many fringe political parties have started in Tamil Nadu. which are extremely fringe, which talks about Tamil nationalism, which speaks about Tamil identity as the primary identity. Many of their speech borders on secession. This is in the last 10 years, many parties have come up in Tamil Nadu. So after this, what has happened? The rhetoric has become very stronger. Labor unions, you see, they have a problem. And North Indian laborers, they complain that there is a caste wage arbitrage between them and our local population. So all these things are spoken, madam. So off and on some things happen, it gets sorted out there only. But at a national, massive level, it cropped up after Tejasvi Yadav's visit. Before Tejasvi Yadav's visit, the railway incident happened, and which was handled after our opposition locally. After he came and shared a stage with Stalinji and never spoke about anything that is happening, it became a national level issue. For any friends who are outside Tamil Nadu, again I am assuring you, madam, absolutely no problem. Of course, the fear psychosis is there. I agree with you. The fear psychosis is there. How does the fear psychosis get created? Because the leaders speak like that. Recently, the Erode by-election happened, and some of the fringe element leaders spoke very specifically against North Indian laborers who have come, taking jobs of Tamil Nadu, especially in clusters like Tirupur and Coimbatore. Thereby, the Tamilian jobs are going to North. In fact, DMK's long-standing one slogan they kept, if I can say it in English, is they said, North is growing, South is weakening. So likewise, they keep giving slogans every 10 years at different points of time. Last year, the slogan of DMK was, all our taxes are going for North's improvement. That is, including the finance minister made this statement. So n number of things. So everything has created this fear psychosis. Suddenly DMK, because DMK's politics is built on North and South, madam. If you take North and South out of DMK politics is unsustainable. The Dravidian model, what they speak is an artificial separation between North and South. Now the fringe elements have got to it because they believe there is some 5%, 7% vote share when they take an extreme Tamil ideology here. So of course fear psychosis is there, nobody is denying it. Till DMK rectifies its North-South rhetoric and some of the fringe elements, they tone down their rhetoric, then the fear psychosis will come down. But assault, people pushing them out, that is not at all happening, ma'am. That will never happen.
Okay, that is reassuring to know. But speaking of fringe elements, today also we had an organization known as the Tantai Periyar Dravida Karagam, which is supposed to be a pro-DMK political outfit. They held a protest in front of the central government offices and said that Brahmins and North Indians have dominance in public sector jobs in Tamil Nadu. Why is this being allowed?
I have to take some little bit time to expose the reality of Tamil Nadu politics, madam. Okay, the Tamil Nadu, what happens is, this DMK party is built like an onion layer. Like onion, you have many layers. And the core is the DMK party. That's how Karunanidhi ji, Kalaignar built it. The core is DMK party. So they have A teams, B teams, C teams, like an onion which surrounds DMK. So you will see they conduct literature festivals, film festival, art festival. They will create a Dravidian identity, create a Tamil identity, create a sub-regional identity, and they will pump all the votes towards DMK. That's how the identity was created. I used to call this as a layer of onion. So what you call the Dravida Kalagam, Dravida Kalagam is basically an ideological mother of DMK. That is where Periyar started. That is where many leaders got formed. They went to DMK. DMK political got formed in 1949. They came to power in 67. So any time you see this kind of issues happen when BJP is on the upswing, immediately DMK will not attack us first. Their A team and B team will come and attack first. Dravida Kalagam. Then they will create a narrative. No. What DMK leaders spoke is something different. They spoke about Hindi imposition only. This Annamalai kind of fellows are twisting it. One narrative. Second narrative, they'll say, look at Navy Lignite Corporation. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the number of jobs in the last 5 years. Look at jobs have gone to North India. Now we have to understand, madam, all these are competitive examinations. No discrimination against anybody. Everybody sits as an equal and write an exam. Of course, BJP is also demanding for NLC that a certain percentage should be reserved for the locals who gave land. For a public sector undertaking, people have given land. For NLC, they have given land. A certain proportion of the seats you reserve to families that have given land. Like we have done in many parts of India, and Tamil Nadu also it is done. Neyveli phase 1 they have done. So this is always like a toolkit gang which will come into action immediately whenever DMK is on the back foot. So this is a theory that was constructed for 40 years. We call this Dravidian development model as an onion model. You peel off one layer, the DMK is somewhere sitting in the middle layer. You will also see many protests in the next 10 days where some magazines will attack us. They have 3-4 magazines, publishers, writers, they will attack us. Then the police will attack us, DMK will attack us. They will try and corner us from all sides. So that is their model. So naively they have taken as a ruse to say, look at this, Bihar people have taken more jobs, Tamil people have got less jobs. From there they will start, they get into railways, they get into Airports Authority of India. They will try and build a narrative that Tamilians are denied jobs. They just don't understand. Like in Bihar, like in UP, like in Rajasthan, everywhere there is a fair competitive examination for any central government job. Here also within Tamil Nadu, it's a fair examination. They will not say that. Instead they will say that Bihar are taken the common exam. Instead, Tamil Nadu, I keep urging our people that civil service jobs. When I entered civil service, madam, in 2011, when I entered, 20% of civil service jobs would be with Tamilians. IAS and IPS, a batch of 900, Tamilians would be 150, 140. If you look at it, we are 42-40. For a batch of 860, last year was 42. So we have come down drastically in civil service. The Tamil crowd has come down drastically in IIT's JEE exam. We have come down drastically in IIMs. For that, the blame is on the Tamil Nadu education model. The blame is nowhere else. If you look at surveys after surveys, the State of Learning Outcome Survey by NCRT, recently Stanford University conducted a survey. Every single survey, Tamil Nadu is getting ranked last among the South Indian states. Quantity is there, quality is not there. So we keep urging that it's time to fix our public education system in Tamil Nadu. Last 20 years we have spoiled. That is why the NEET drama also. The NEET drama is an outcome of the faulty education model we have. When other states have improved their education model, tightened up the public education model, Tamil Nadu, especially DMK government, takes pride in appeasing the school teachers, but not tightening the quality of education. It's a very sad state of affairs. Sorry madam, I'm giving a pretty long answer for this. No. But to put everything in context, only then we'll get clarity what is happening within Tamil Nadu.
You know, since you spoke about people who've been associated or are associated with the DMK, something really strange happened, that even as the DMK was denying that any of these assaults / thrashing / harassment of people from Bihar has happened, Prashant Kishore, who handled their campaign, he said yesterday that he actually has proof of how laborers are being attacked, workers from Bihar are being attacked. Isn't it strange? What do you make of this sudden change of heart?
Prashant Kishore is a very smart man, madam. In this case, if you look at it, he picked up the right issue. I saw his tweet yesterday. He picked up the right issue. He picked up exactly the railway issue that happened, which is a true issue, true video. DMK initially said that nothing has happened in the railways also, government. Then when we forced and couple of people released the video, they accepted, then they got arrested. So Prashant Kishore very smartly picked up that one video, which is true, which is fact. I can't sit in front of you and deny Prashant Kishore has picked up an illogical issue. He has picked up the right issue, madam. Now, Prashant Kishore, I think it's a call before him, whether for him his politics in Bihar is more important, or the couple of crores he gets as a consultancy fee with the DMK Arivalayam in Tamil Nadu is important. For him, it's a choice he is making. Whether he wants to make politics in Bihar important or the money he receives as consultant for DMK important, I think he has chosen the first model where for him politics in Bihar is important. And that's how, madam, consultants by nature, we all know that's how they are. But you picked up the very right point. Now let them please book an FIR against Prashant Kishore also. If Prashant Kishore is not there, 100% DMK would not have come to power in Tamil Nadu for sure after 10 years. And why only FIR against me? Please book against Prashant Kishore also. Let me have the grateful company of Prashant Kishore with me in the jail. Let us discuss many things and modalities.
All right, a very interesting conversation for a fly on the wall. But finally, what is being done by you to instill confidence in people from the north who are living in Chennai and Tamil Nadu? Because you also have a responsibility there.
Madam, we have already started. If you look at the clusters, madam, Tirupur, which is the textile hub of India, it's a main cluster. Coimbatore, the industrial hub of Tamil Nadu, India, is a main cluster. Chennai is a cluster. Then we have industrial towns, small towns here and there like Ambattur and everywhere. So BJP, we have pressed into action all our Karyakartas for the last 2 days. We are conducting meetings in all camps. They live in hostels, or they live in groups, or they live in houses. That's how the North Indian friends live here. So we have the other language cell in BJP which speaks pretty good Hindi. They are comfortable with Hindi. So we have sent them, we have told them, if you can see the Twitter and social media of BJP Tamil Nadu page, they go there, they talk to them. And railway stations we have put teams. Then if they want to go for Holi, we say please go, have a good time and come back. At the same time, if somebody has got the fear, we are giving them a number. The other language cell president of each district, we are giving them a number. Please call us. Anything will be a first responder. This is one part that is happening, madam. As we speak now in Tirupur, tomorrow, we are organizing Tirupur is with you. You are with Tirupur. So we have invited all migrant laborers to a big hall. We have invited the industry leaders to a big hall. We are doing. This is the party side, madam. From the government side also, I should give credit that the collectors and the SPs of that individual districts, they have already pressed into action. They are conducting meetings. They are assuring everybody that absolutely fine. In this case, the trigger point, madam, BJP is absolutely there to support the government to make sure that everybody is safe. The trigger point is DMK did not like that I have questioned their leader's statement at different points of time, and for that an FIR is filed against me. Otherwise, in principle, we are with the government to make sure that not even a single North Indian friend should go back. If somebody is go back for a better opportunity, we are extremely happy for him. Let him have a better opportunity, great life. But somebody is going with the fear, somebody is going with an anger against Tamil people, we don't want that. That is what we are doing for the past 2-3 days, madam.
Well, and that is what should be the sentiment across the board, because ultimately the entire country belongs to all the Indians. Let's just hope that the fear-mongering, the panic subsides and better sense prevails. Thank you very much, Mr. Annamalai, for speaking to us. Let's also see what the next step of the Tamil Nadu police is going to be like. Thanks for joining us.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मोहुल, who's founder and CEO of Matter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So Mohul, we've already seen this bike. I still don't know what you guys going to call it right now, but hopefully, we're going to know about it in a couple of months, I believe, and more details that we already know about specifications and what you are offering with this bike. But उसके अलावा कुछ और चीज़ें हैं जिनकी डिटेल्स अभी आनी बाकी हैं. So इस बाइक को लेकर थोड़ा टाइमलाइन, इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन किस तरह का टाइमलाइन रहने वाला है एंड कब इसका ऑफिशियली लॉन्च आप करने वाले हैं?
Definitely. So first thing is at the Auto Expo we have also showcased the 6 kilowatt version of the bike. So at launch we had a 5 kilowatt version. Now we also have a 6 kilowatt version of the bike. And in terms of timeline, in the next 30 days we will be giving out the spec variants and pricing to the larger market. We will be opening up bookings for the Matter motorbike this quarter, and deliveries summer में शुरू हो जाने वाली है.
So एक चीज़ जो बहुत ही टेक्नोलॉजी का हूँ इंटरेस्टिंग है इस बाइक के बारे में.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
आ चुका है पोको X5 Pro का बॉक्स टेबल पे. अब इसको जल्दी से करेंगे अनबॉक्स. ब्लैक और येलो कलर का ये बॉक्स है, जो ज्यादातर पोको के स्मार्टफोन पे आपको येलो कलर, जो इसका सिग्नेचर कलर है, वो दिखाई देगा. Sometimes it is really tricky to take the tapes off, so let me try it with my nails. One tape down successfully. Guys, ये जो फीलिंग है ना अनबॉक्स करने वाली, ये काफी ही मजेदार लगती है. जब भी आप कोई नया गैजेट अनबॉक्स करते हैं तो मजा तो आता है. जैसे कि यहाँ देखेंगे, बॉक्स के पीछे की तरफ बहुत सारे डिटेल्स लिखे हैं, बॉक्स के बारे में फीचर्स लिखे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे और उसके बारे में बात करेंगे जब फोन हाथ में आ जाएगा. Inside the box you get this little paper box as well, जिसमें ज्यादातर पेपर वर्क और प्रोटेक्टिव केस ही होता है. लाइक आई सेड, वही मिला है हमको. यहाँ पर एक छोटा सा मैनुअल टाइप है. यहाँ पर फोन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए आपको मिलता है ट्रांसपेरेंट प्रोटेक्टिव केस, और साथ में सिम इजेक्टर टूल विच इज वेरी बेसिक। अब मुझे बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई दे रहा है हमारा डिवाइस जिसके बारे में ये वीडियो बना रहे हैं। उफ, वेरी वाइब्रेंट एंड पेपी येलो कलर। Just like the box, the smartphone also boasts the combination of black or call it dark grey along with yellow. और कॉम्प्लीमेंटिंग डिजाइन आपको फ्रेम्स पर भी दिखेगा। जो कलर आपको यहाँ कैमरा मॉड्यूल पर दिख रहा है, पीछे ये जो पैच पर दिख रहा है, वही आपको उसी कलर का फ्रेम दिखाई देगा विद येलो एक्सेंट्स। वेट की बात करें तो अच्छा है, लाइट वेट है। और यहाँ पे जो येलो है, दिस इज लिटिल बिट डल, नॉट एज वाइब्रेंट एज द बॉक्स और प्रॉपर येलो। वैसे तो मैट फिनिशिंग है, लेकिन ये जो कलर है इसके अंदर हल्का सा ग्लिटर आपको दिखाई देता है। फ्लैशी नहीं है, अच्छा है। इसको साइड में रखते हैं, अभी ऑन भी करेंगे और उसके बाद स्मार्टफोन के बारे में बात करेंगे। पहले देखते हैं और क्या आपको बॉक्स के अंदर दिखाई देगा। यू ऑल्सो गेट अ 67 वॉट चार्जिंग ब्रिक। I really liked how they have written 67 watt here. बहुत ही बढ़िया फॉन्ट लग रहा है, कुछ डिफरेंट देखने को मिला, वरना ज्यादातर यहाँ पर नॉर्मली लिख देते हैं 67 और 80। तो ये जो इसने हल्का सा छोटा सा अटेम्प्ट किया है विद द डिजाइन, आई रियली लाइक। साथ में आपको मिलता है टाइप सी केबल विद ऑरेंज एक्सेंट्स, जैसे कि आप यहाँ देख पा रहे होंगे। इसको भी साइड में रखते हैं। And that's it. That's all you get inside the box. अब बात करते हैं स्मार्टफोन के बारे में। जरा मुझे इसे ऑन करने दीजिए। फोन को यहाँ पर सेटअप करना मैंने शुरू कर दिया है। जैसे कि आप देख पाएंगे, दिस फोन रन्स ऑन MIUI 14। साथ इसको हम सेट करते रहेंगे और फोन के बारे में बात करते रहेंगे, बिकॉज यही तो सबसे ज्यादा बढ़िया पॉइंट होता है जब भी आप नया फोन सेटअप करते हैं, द फीलिंग ऑफ सेटिंग अप and shifting to a new smartphone. तो यहाँ पर इसको सेटअप कर रहे हैं। Till that time, let me talk about the display. तो यहाँ पर आपको with Poco X5 Pro मिलता है AMOLED display with the support of 120 Hz refresh rate. Basically, scrolling, animations should be smoother, क्योंकि 120 Hz अब ज्यादातर फोन्स पे स्टैंडर्ड भी हो गया है। There was a time when 90 Hz used to be the standard refresh rate, but 120 अब ज्यादातर फोन्स पे आपको दिखाई देगा। इसके अलावा दिस डिस्प्ले इज प्रोटेक्टेड विद Corning Gorilla Glass 5, तो आपको इतना टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है कि डिस्प्ले को कुछ हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा। द फोन इज ऑल्सो ऑफरिंग IP53 रेटिंग to prevent all the dust as well as water splashes. यहाँ पर और जैसे कि डिस्प्ले पे आपको दिख रहा होगा, bezels are pretty thin. In fact, यहाँ पर चारों साइड पे मुझे सेम bezels दिखाई दे रहे हैं, मतलब मेजरमेंट उनका, और थिन भी लग रहा है। यहाँ पे वाइट बैकग्राउंड पे देखेंगे तो आई थिंक इसका जो व्यूइंग एक्सपीरियंस है दैट शुड एड टू इट बिकॉज ऑफ द थिन bezels. और सामने आपको यहाँ पर दिख रहा होगा पंच होल कैमरा। दिस इज अ 16 मेगापिक्सल फ्रंट शूटर टू क्लिक ऑल द वाइब्रेंट सेल्फीज एज वेल एज मेक वीडियो ब्लॉग्स। कैमरास की यहाँ पे बात की है तो एक बार आपको पीछे वाले कैमरास के बारे में भी बता देते हैं। रेक्टेंगुलर कैमरा मॉड्यूल आपको यहाँ दिखाई देगा। इसको कॉम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए थोड़ा सा ब्लैक पैच यहाँ पे स्ट्रेच किया गया है। नाउ दिस कैमरा मॉड्यूल houses 3 cameras in total. The main camera is a 108 megapixel